Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts of the most, again, back in 2025. Hopefully you guys have had a wonderful, happy holidays and a happy new year before we get into the dark age of 2025. But again, your host of the most, Black Spartan, Tafara TV. Sir, how's the new year been treating you outside of your cardio?
It's good. I mean, we got snow over here in Dallas, so it's cold. It's cold in the south and hot over in the west side.
Nice. Same for us because obviously, because we're in Tennessee, because Tennessee does not do snow, and whenever there's snow, people panic. So fun times. But hopefully, you guys, whether you're on the, and also if you're on the burning west side of the world of the U.S., hopefully you guys were, if you're affected by the fire, hopefully you're safe. Possessions can be replaced, lives cannot. But if you're not, hopefully you're out of the fire zone. Like I said, just be careful because right now the east is frozen, the west is hot. It looks like Middle Earth right now. That's all I'm saying. But
yeah, to all the people who are firefighting from prison, I can vouch. They didn't do whatever you said they did. They were with me the entire time. They're innocent. Free my dog. Put some money on their books and then let them out. I've known them my whole life. They wouldn't do whatever y'all said they did. Other things, alibis. Free these people. Free them. Like y'all, they deserve to go home or to somewhere else besides the cell.
Right. And also shout out to those responders out there because
y'all are true heroes, man.
Yeah, y'all doing Lord's work as far as I'm concerned. So definitely shout out to them. But as you guys can see, we are a little bit leveled up, which means that sometimes we do watch our language, and sometimes there may be things that might be shown that might be too intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised, as well as we usually say. But aside from that, welcome. So as you guys can see, this is the big catch-up. We decided back in 2024 that we kind of took the holidays off. And why is it that whenever we take something off, a cavalcade of stuff comes through and, well, we cover it. So this is the big catch up from the end of 2024 to now 2025. And how we start this, we need to start this on some good news. We reviewed this on Blurred's Eye View, and of course, we would be remiss not to review it here just because James Gunn, we got some bones to pick with you this evening. All good bones, but we're going to start with this one because this came at a time when we needed it most. Yes, I know a lot of people have seen it, but you don't ever get tired of it. If you have not seen the teaser trailer for Superman, for James Gunn's Superman, here it is.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
Superman.
I never get tired of that. I never get tired of it. Hold on, Tafari, you
I
muted.
forgot I got a separate thing here and here. Yeah, I didn't realize he was wheezing when he was in the Yamcha pose. But also I like that we are similar with Blue Beetle. I like that we're starting in an established world. Not everyone has to do an origin story. We are getting them as is, and I can't believe so many people didn't know Guy Gardner had a bowl cut. That was an actual area of discussion that apparently a lot of people were just blindsided by, and I was like, really?
That part is always funny to me. Like, they're mad about a haircut. I'm like, y'all have never read a Guy Gardner comic. And if our other partner Joe was here, Show Guy Joe, if he was here, trust me, he would have a full dissertation on why you should read certain comics before you start complaining about how they look, especially for a comic book accurate Guy Gardner, which again I'm looking forward to. Also looking forward to Mr. Terrific Metamorpho. I want to say that was Ultraman, but I'm going to leave it alone that he was fighting in the stadium. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I still don't know who that could be. It still gives it almost gives a similar suit to what the Kryptonians wore with Snyder stuff, but it could be anyone. That could be anybody in a power suit. Still haven't kind of heard what angle Buddy is going to be taking for Luthor, but he at least has the look down.
The menacing look. That don't get me wrong. No, go ahead.
Also, I've never seen it called Luthor Corp. I've like everything has always been Lex Corp, so that's also something I noticed.
And I love the fact that it's the menacing look. It's not. Don't get me wrong, Michael Rosenbaum. You will always be Smallville's Lex Luthor. There's no taking the crown away from you. John Cryer, who was also with CW, he played an amazing Lex Luthor. Not taken away from you.
Yeah.
But from a movie standpoint, you had to have a menacing, I hate your guts, Kendrick Lamar feel to this. I look at that man, I'm like, Nicholas Hoult nailed it. So can't knock it. Looking forward to it. Damn it, James Gunn, you got us. There's no other way I could say it, but you got us for multiple reasons. But
it's so interesting because this is like the first time we have like a big superhero project. And there are some names in there, but this is the first time like I know more about who's making it than who's actually in it. Because even I'm watching Superman, but I have to keep thinking of the guy's name who plays it, which is David Cornswet. And it's just like I know him, but it's like I don't. So he's doing a good job with his mission of taking nobodies, but putting them into this role and guiding them correctly to proper portrayals.
At the same time, for all those that are wondering, David Cornswet is actually taller than Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is 6'2". David Cornswet is almost 6'5". So he's going to fit the Superman mold. For all those that are worried about height issues, dude is 6'5". Think he's covered. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And I still think he's kind of related to Christopher Reeves because, God, them genes is somewhere in that family tree. But anyway, completely. But we digress. But also what happened last year, because I'm going to throw this to Tafari because, again, he got to see it. Joe got to see it. I'm still waiting to see it. What I'm talking about, guys, is Sonic 3. I'm going to let Tafari take this one, sir, because it's been long enough. You can go ahead and spill the beans on what you think about it because I'm still going to go see it. But what were your thoughts on Sonic 3?
I thought it was great. I think, again, I kind of like what people do in Marvel films. It's just like, oh, we could have done more things. I'm like, but at the end of the day, some stuff is going to get cut because it's like, it has to be made for kids. So Maria and Gerald Robotnik both getting gunned down probably isn't going to make the final cut like it did in Sonic Adventure 2.
Right.
I will say this. They did a good job with the whole Gerald Robotnik thing. With Jim Carrey playing two different roles was great. I just wish they would have used him more in the flashbacks because you don't really see that those three together until the tragedy happens. And then the general who is in all the Sonic movies. In the game, he's supposed to be a child. And he is. The movie also makes you question how old is everybody because this is a 50-year gap we're talking about.
Right.
but the general is actually like a young adult. And remember, they kind of pay homage to it, where Shadow and him remember each other, but they don't interact very much, and I kind of miss that. But as far as a Sonic 3 movie that is adapting the Sonic Adventure 2 story, they did a good job, and they let it to where it can go in any direction. The action scenes were there. All the music you're hoping to hear is in there. All hella references. Didn't get whoever had the rumor that there's going to be like 6 end credit scenes. I don't know where you got that information. There was 2, but they were good. They were good, and they gave us a good direction of where we could possibly go.
Okay, so that's good to know, because I was saying, I thought it was like 6 end credit scenes. So, good God.
I said there was a joking Sonic way they could do it, and I wouldn't be shocked, but they still kind of went in that direction, but it's only 2. So we could either be going, the way I see it, we could either be going Sonic Heroes, or we could be going that Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon from the 90s where they were kind of like a freedom fighter force, and they were trying not to be like roboticized, which I think Sonic Prime has a version of that too. They might be going home in the 4th movie, is what I think might be happening.
Gotcha. I'm definitely gonna check it out though, because I heard it was great. The dance scene with the Robotnik and the security system.
Yeah, there were people like, oh, what is this? I'm like, look at the age of half the people here. Half are my age, and the other half are the people they made while waiting on this film. Like, just relax. It's also Jim Carrey. You're going to get some jokes. I'll say this: they had what is the girl who plays Jessica Jones? Kristen Ritter. Her character was okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have swapped the general in for her to fill in that Shadow backstory. Also, we do see the payoff from the Knuckles mention about the black comet that arrived with the mysterious figure and blah. So they do actually kind of follow up that a little bit.
Cool. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to watch that. But if you're also watching the comments, guys, if you guys see Sonic 3, let us know what you think of it. Again, Paramount, it's amazing that we had to bully you guys into drawing Sonic right in order for you to give us three great movies. And now from my understanding, it's potentially going to be a 4th and 5th movie. So fun there. But like I said, still catching up, guys, from last year. Couple of news before we get to our next trailer. If you were wondering what happened to Transformers Reactivate, well, some poor news for you guys. Unfortunately, the next Transformers game that was coming down the pipe, the last time we saw it was during the Summer of Games, was canceled. The studio that was behind it said that, unfortunately, a number of roles, risk of redundancies, layoffs, things of that nature, basically caused the game to be canceled. Now, does this mean that this IP can be picked up anywhere else? Yes. I think we are due for another Transformers game. I want to see the last one I played was Fall of Cybertron, which I still think, out of all the Transformers games, my personal favorite. I know other people have different favorites down the line, but we are due for another Transformers game. It's kind of sad that the last time we saw this was the Video Game Awards, the Summer of Games, and really with everything else that just came out this year, last year, Black Myth Wukong and other games as well. Marvel Rivals was another game. Again, we'll talk about that as we have some news about that as well. But it's just sad that, we're maybe at this point, really at this point, we're not going to get this game, which kind of sucks. But again, for all those IPs that are trying to make a name for yourselves, if you can do a great Transformers game, we're going to love you. If you burn it, we will forget you. Don't believe us? Try Anthem. Anthem was supposed to be great. EA burned it. But yeah, it's kind of sad about that. Also, Sega. Dang you, Sega. Sega, I have a bone to pick with you. And the reason why I have a bone to pick with you is because Sega has came out and said as of last year, they are not making any more mini consoles after the mini Sega. Which again, if you haven't gotten it, it's really cheap to get right now because apparently people got tired of them, selling and trading them. Me, if I ever find a mini Sega, a mini Super ES, and mini NES, I am not giving those things up because all those libraries and those cartridges still work on those systems. But Sega, I got a bone to pick with you because a mini Dreamcast would have been your best seller for a holiday season. Now, so far I can remember about the Dreamcast. Was it a console ahead of its time? Yes.
Yeah.
They have a lot of great games. Yes. Could honestly, Madden was fearing for its life just because the 2K Sports Series was way better than what Madden was at the time. It actually, if you want to be honest, it almost put NFL Live out the pasture. That's saying a lot, especially with NBA 2K, NFL 2K, NHL 2K, Crazy Taxi, Power Stone, Resident Evil. The EA Sports Streets, where you had NBA Streets, NFL Blitz. I can keep going down the line of how many great titles were on the Dreamcast. And Sega could have turned around and said, you know what? We can bring back the Dreamcast because the technology is there to run Dreamcast games on a smaller scale and give us some nostalgia. But Tafara, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, the Dreamcast was definitely the better graphical item to run around that time. I'm trying to think what other game, because I played Spider-Man, and that one technically has a better graphical comparison compared to the PS1 and the N64 version. So Dreamcast Mini would have been great.
I just don't get it. And also Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn actually had some good titles too. But again, I'm trying to understand. I am really trying to understand, because y'all guys got me hyped with the fact of some games that are coming out that we talked about, and then you guys turn around and say, oh, but as far as consoles go, no, we're not jumping into that pool again. And I'm just thinking to myself, what better time right now would be for you guys to hear the console and basically run with it? But again, I digress. I just got to, also Dreamcast, because of that news, Dreamcast value, if you have a Dreamcast console, it's up in value now. Especially you have a certain additions to it, which are basically more available overseas than they are here, because the Dreamcast actually had a hard drive and a dial-up modem that could have been attached to it.
Yeah, so I have that plugged into mine now.
So again, I had to stop myself. But hey, if you don't believe me, look at the PS2. The PS2 actually has a hard drive option. But again, letting that one go. But moving on to our trailers, just because we do have quite a some-odd number, but we're going to knock them out. This one was one that we talked about that's actually going to be on Netflix, I believe, tomorrow on the 11th. But if you remember Sakamoto Days, the best way we can explain this, guys, is basically a hitman who is now a grocery clerk, who has gained weight, who his wife has sworn him off from doing hitman work while a bounty is on his head. Crazy? Yes, the same guy who came up with Demon Slayer actually came up with this anime. But if you haven't watched it, here's the trailer for it.
Everyone has someone that cherishes them the way you cherish me. From now on, promise me you won't kill anyone. This is our #1 rule.
Mr. Sakamoto, back in the day, the worst of the worst feared you. The legendary assassin. And now? How did this happen?
Before I retired, I used my strength to hurt people. Now, I'm using it to protect the people I love. I'll never be a hitman again.
Honestly, I can hardly recognize it.
There's a price on your head, Sakamoto. 1 billion yen.
You leave the organization without asking, you die.
Sweetie, I know you're not about to tell me you've gone back to killing, right? Break the family rules and I'll divorce you. Divorce.
You're part of the family now, so you need to follow the rules too.
Never kill anyone.
I'll kill you if you break them.
You can't! It's against the rules! The legendary assassin, Taro Sakamoto. Prepare to get bleached, Sakamoto!
All these hitmen day in and day out is giving me a headache. Oh well, at least our bandages profits have gone up.
Thank you, young lady.
And guys, that was the trailer for Sakamoto Days on Netflix. Will be streaming tomorrow, and it's going to be episodic, which means that, you know, Netflix has learned not to give it all away. But I'm definitely watching it just because it's different. It's basically made from the same guys that did Demon Slayer, so I know it's going to be good. But Tafari, any thoughts on that? Hey, lady, Mandalore.
No, I've been hearing so much about Sakamoto Days like for a long time now, so I'm glad. I didn't know it was this close to actually being out, and I didn't know it was going to be a weekly release either. I thought it was going to be all at once, but I'll check it out when it drops and see how I feel.
Yeah, it just looks like it's going to be really freaking good. I'm enjoying the premise of it, honestly. But before we dive into the Marvel Rivals, looks like a good anime. It really does. But before we get into the next couple of trailers, some other news we need to get to as far as news that we already knew about, but it got announced anyway, and we're still happy about it. Jason Momoa has officially came out. You know, the NDA has expired, and he can say that he will be taking on the role of the main man in DC, Lobo, the galactic bounty hunter with questionable taste and even questionable tendencies, which means that he will also be appearing in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and it hasn't been confirmed. He may or may not show in the Superman movie. It is yet to be confirmed. As of right now, we only know that he is going to be in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. But and Kira wastes no time. Water Biker Daddy. Kira wastes no time at all. But
Lobo is who he wanted originally, right? And then they were just like he kind of got convinced to play Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean he got convinced to play Aquaman. And don't get me wrong, he did a great Arthur Curry, but Lobo speaks more to him, and I can see it. But yes, we kind of knew about this from that long time ago Instagram post where, for all those that don't remember, Jason Momoa first met James Gunn and Peter Safari when they took over DC Studios. And we all remember that iconic video where he said, I just got through talking to Gunn, and, you know, I can't say it, but I'm extremely happy about it. We all knew back then he got Lobo. But because of NDAs and things of that nature, or as our very famous reverend would always say about NDAs, Negro don't ask.
Yep.
It probably must have expired. So we're not complaining about this one. We're actually looking forward to it. And really and truly, guys, I got no complaints about it. And again, Kira just adds to her Water Biker Daddy thing. Well, I just learned to accept that in life. But that also being said, we also got to talk about Cartoon Network. Tafari, you want to take this one? Because all I can do is I don't have the 21 gun salute sound effect I should have for this. I really don't. I don't have
that studio. I mean, it stood for 30 years and it's officially gone. And then I think the website officially takes you to just the homepage for Max now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate. I remember we talked to Chase Conley, who worked in X-Men 97 and Black Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
He said, like, during Black Dynamite, he's like, bro, if you dropped a bomb on that Cartoon Network building, you would have like killed every black person in animation at once. He's like, and everybody kind of got to like hang out and cross paths and do guest work, and it was a good environment it provided from what I've been told, and they're all sad to see it go. Now when you see like I know Trey Mosley had to go do some voice work for something, but you see when everybody goes now, they go to Warner Brothers Studios or Max Studio or whatever the place is called now, instead of here. So and all the stuff got yanked off of Max, so it's a wasteland right now for this stuff.
Pretty much, but outside of us saying rest in peace, because again, the Cartoon Network website was a lifesaver for a lot of us. Max has also turned around and decided, hey, because we're Warner Brothers, we're also going to take away stuff. And these were and the thing about it is, guys, this list right here so far, it's what's being removed as of right now. Teen Titans Go seasons 1 through 7, Ed, and Eddie, The Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy, Green Lantern the Animated Series, The Looney Tunes Show, and Static Shock. Also, additionally, Teen Titans Go to the movies, which was streaming, has also been removed. And again, it makes me sad. I actually like Teen Titans, don't get me wrong. Teen Titans Go, I can understand you wanted to apply it to a higher crowd. Ed, and Eddie, they're like the Ren and Stimpy of the modern times. I'm not going to knock them for that. Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy, I never really watched it. Green Lantern, I did watch that, loved it. Love Static Shock because, again, CW, you dropped the ball on that. Looney Tunes Show, you can't go wrong with it. But we knew because Warner Brothers is bleeding money. So, of course, they won't. Yeah. Of course, what they're trying to do is basically save money wherever they can. I just think that this was the wrong move, considering the fact that Gossip Girl is still around. But I digress. That's a different crowd, not my demographic. But I'm just saying, it's like you let go of the things that we enjoy, and at the same time, now it's like we got to go to the grand line to find it. But Tafara, any thoughts on that?
No, like I knew most of those were going. I didn't know the Looney Tunes show was getting cut because that was recently my current, like the last 3 months. That's been my go to bed. Yeah, Warner Bros. Studios. That's been my go to bed and watch TV. That's one of those shows I can go to bed and wake up on any episode and be okay.
Yeah.
To me, that is my favorite rendition of the Looney Tunes because you're taking the classic characters and tropes they have, but putting them in like a neighborhood setting, and then incorporating just like real life aspects. And then the fact that Bugs and Daffy are roommates, but then end up basically dating the person they can't stand in female form. Whereas, and then Tina, I think that was the first time they introduced Tina the Duck as Daffy's girlfriend, but having someone who actually like he was still Daffy, but someone that actually inspired him to like be a better person and actually try to like get a career and actually kept him in check. Whereas Bugs has this girl who got on his nerves all the time and ends up like caring deeply about her and just putting up with all her nonsense and just working with it. And Porky being like they're just, I don't know, they're Ned Flanders the entire time. It was a good mix and a good style. I wish it had more seasons. Like I feel like that's one you could revive and put on Adult Swim.
Really good. But again, we have to depend on the fact that certain executives, which again, executives should be paying a lot more attention since an executive kind of met Mr. Mayhem. But I'm not going to talk about that. Free my brother Luigi. But anyway, move on. That's like free Luigi. But no, move right along, guys. There are some more trailers we got to talk about, as well as reviews. Start with Marvel Rivals, because I got through playing with it with my son not too long ago. And I'm going to tell you something about you campers that play with Iron Man and the Punisher. You know you can move on those boards, right? Just saying. You don't got to wait for your ultimate and then decide to spike it on people like you're playing Call of Duty. But with that also being said, gripe aside, if you haven't played Marvel Rivals, it is very much fun. It is very Overwatch-like. So if you've never seen it, then, well, here's your chance to actually look at new characters. What's actually becoming... Yes, Kira. Yes. But that being said, guys, we do want to show the latest trailers. As we can see, the Fantastic Four entering Marvel Rivals, and we're starting with the Invisible Woman.
Who wants to see something fantastic? Next. Force burst! They'll never see me coming. Clear the way! You have no clue how long I've wanted to do that, Namor. Disappear! A clear winner.
All right. So, guys, that was basically Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, as she has now also entered Marvel Rivals. Hey, Joe, what's going on?
All right, I came into the good time. Let me have my rant about Sue Storm and everybody going nuts.
Oh crap!
Okay, this thing's still on. I'm just making sure. I had to move locations.
No, you're good, and Joe's already coming through hot, so I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, you're more. I did one round as Black Panther, got a win for Wakanda, and called it a career. Take it away, Joe.
Right.
People, Sue Storm has been the focus of her attractiveness, has been the plot point of Marvel Comics since her inception in 1960. Obviously with Namor, once with Doctor Doom. This woman has been pulling everybody, quite literally, since the 60s. Just because she's got a booty now does not mean she's the most everable thing since, I don't know, but I just woke up. I don't have a great analogy.
No, go for it.
But I've seen nothing but people going after her for the longest time, and I'm like, you are not the first person. You are not the last person. Sue Storm can literally get anybody she wants in the Marvel Universe. Like, she is more attractive than Mary Jane, more attractive than Felicia Hardy. This woman pulls everybody under the ocean, in Latveria, probably in space.
I mean, the movie, didn't she bond with Silver Surfer first in the movie?
Yep. In the Sony movie, yeah.
Y'all need Jesus in the worst way possible. I mean, like,
go ahead, Joe. Go on. Go ahead.
I mean, this is like the beginning of Overwatch, or the Overwatch stuff, and I'm just like, have none of you read a comic? Everybody is not below, like, I'll be polite here.
Yeah,
no one's below a C, and everybody's got a butt. It is even Wolverine's got a butt. Literally, She-Hulk just picked him up because, like, I see why Colossus throws you. You got a nice butt, and Wolverine's like, adamantium. It helps.
Mm-hmm.
It was what was it? What's one of her outfits? I know that everybody is losing their mind.
Oh my god, yeah, let's go with that one.
Because that was she was that was used in one of the Fantastic Four, like, old school episodes, wasn't it?
No, pull up Reed Richards' misogyny 90s cartoon.
That is exactly the name of the clip when I first saw it. Somebody said, like, remember when Reed Richards used misogyny to get Sue Storm back to life?
Okay, so Dr. Doom, and then again another attempt to get Reed Richards, hypnotize Sue Storm into becoming his wife. This is not the first time this has happened, because the other time it happened, Sue willingly became Doom's wife when Reed put on the mask of Doom and went nuts. She also has another costume that I'm sure they can put in later. Yes, this is the I've had enough Sue Storm where it. See, like I said, pull it up, please. Pull up the YouTube video.
Okay.
Reed Richards' misogyny 90s cartoon.
Got it. I'll go look.
Sue looks like this. This is a comic actress' reputation of being the bride of Doom at one point. People were losing their thing over that. Oh my god, you people! I like this is the beginning of the Overwatch stuff, and all the sites which are probably banned now in Texas and Florida, anyways. So some of y'all ain't getting this content, anyways.
Wait, what was it called again?
Reed Richards' misogyny. I promise you, it'll come right up.
Gotcha. Okay, got it. I'm getting it. I had to remember I didn't know how to spell misogyny. That's sad.
Okay, so like I said, oh my god, people. The fact that her beauty has been literal plot points, not since that time. Oh yeah, and I'm reading some of the stuff from Kira. Yes, not her crapping on Namor. The reason she craps on Namor now is because at one point Namor was going to drown everybody, and she's like, well, "What about my son?" And Namor just dead ass says, "Like, we can make another." And then Sue was like, "Done."
Dang, I'm starting to wonder if I can't find it. It's pulled up everything except what I'm looking for. But Anyway, we'll find it momentarily. I don't want to hold it. I don't want to hold us up too long because now you're curious about it. Now I'm just curious about it. But Tafari, if you got it, just go ahead and send me the link so I can clip it. But we're going to actually, but speaking of misogyny, we're also going to show the other side of Marvel Rivals, which is basically Mr. Fantastic. And if you haven't never seen Mr. Fantastic's powers in Rivals, they look oddly familiar. That's all I'm going to say.
No, here it is. Reed Richards defeats Sue Storm using sex.
Now for something truly fantastic. That was simple. I've got you. Double the failure. Maximum. Let me return the favor. I'm as strong as Ben. Fantastic! Rousing success.
All right,
Okay.
now I'm not done with the rants.
Nah, go ahead, because
Let's start with all the children who were born with the years starting 2. Go read a book. Go read a book. Go read a book that's now called One Piece. Because that's
that's the part I was going to bring up. But go ahead.
People really
oh
thought
my god! The number of people that think that Reed Richards is a copy of Luffy in 4th gear, 5th gear. Well, maybe 5th gear because 5th gear.
Yeah, I'll say the 4th gear look. Maybe the model was but like Reed as a character has been here first.
And Kira would love you just because of that One Piece reference there, Joe.
Like,
she loves you for that.
Or is it for the fact that I said all you children whose birthdays start with the year 2?
Yeah, she loves you for that.
Go read a book. Go read anything from Fantastic Four. This is literally one of Reed's powers. He's not quite up there with Plastic Man in terms of metamorphing shape ability, but no, the man does expand his muscles at times. He's been used as a trampoline, a balloon, everything under the sun. Luffy came from Reed, not Reed coming from Luffy. Like, read a book. God.
With that being said,
oh yes, here we go.
Here's the clip that Joe was talking about.
Susan, stop this nonsense at once. I am in no mood to put up with your silly drivel.
What? You dare speak to me like that?
Susan, I'm ordering you to be quiet. I've indulged your tantrums for years, but now is not the time for such games.
What?
Not quite the clip I was going for, but still.
Face it, you never could carry your weight in this group. We all know that.
That's a lie.
Susan, I said, shut up.
Daddy, I hate you.
You weak, silly, mindless.
Okay.
Not quite the clip I was going for, but it is what it is.
Also, when was this?
This was the 90s cartoon where they couldn't, they couldn't use Johnny sometimes.
Right.
Or no, wait, that was the 80s cartoon where they couldn't use Johnny because they thought kids would set themselves on fire. This is the 90s cartoon, though. This is the one where Ghost Rider Penance stares Galactus and beats him in one shot.
Yeah. But no, I had to point that out because it was the 90s. I can see people going like, did they really look? It was the 90s. A lot of stuff got away with in cartoons. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that.
And she's had that costume for a while. I think all you got to do is like Sue Storm, Bride of Doom. I think is what you got to look up.
Oh yeah, she's had for quite a while. But I just had to point that out because people would be like, they let this go. They let a lot of stuff go away. They let a lot of stuff go in cartoons. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm just pointing that out. But yeah, But beyond that, Joe, before we go any farther, I know you're catching up with us, sir. Your thoughts on Sonic 3, because we are catching up from last year, and you want to go and give your impressions upon that, because Tafari already did.
Man, this is the first episode of the new year. I could have come in with that Vegeta line, and finally, after 10,000 years of my slumber, I arise. I could have gone that route.
Yeah, you could have. I figured you'd go the Aladdin reference, or nah. That was the only one I could think of.
Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty living space.
But nah. Well, what do you think of
Sonic 3? Sonic 3, yes. Wonderful, wonderful movie. Very fun. A lot of plot holes. Some plot holes in the third movie. Had no clue if Maria and Robotnik were cousins or brothers. Had to talk to Tafari about that. The third act became one big Dragon Ball Z fight. I approve. It shows that concept can work. Shadow taking off his wrist cuffs, which were apparently power inhibitors, was never brought up the whole time in the movie, but apparently was a thing in the movie also that happened. And I was very confused, like, what in God's name is taking off his cuffs gonna do? He's already Super Hedgehog. Oh, they're power inhibitors. That wasn't brought up once. I could see where some parents are complaining about this movie too, though, to a degree. It does take kind of a very dark shift in the third one with Gerald wanting to exterminate the entirety of the human race along with himself. Despite the comedy of it. Also, Mantis versus Scorpion fight was just dumb. That it was very, very fun. I enjoyed everything about it. I'm glad to see we're getting more Sonic characters. I'm very confused on why we're moving into Sega CD era, going down from Dreamcast era in terms of Sonic chronology, but they got a plan. They're doing okay. We'll get to see Jim Carrey do something again, I'm sure. He survived less and worse.
That was I wanted them to show us how he survived the last movie.
That part.
Telemundo is how he survived.
Now, see, I haven't seen Sonic 3, so I know one of these days me and the wife are gonna be able to go watch it, but I only want to see two scenes that I want no one to explain to me. One of them is the Robotnik dance scene. I don't want to know the song that's played. I just know it happened, and I want to watch it because Jim Carrey is a genius. I got in my head 5 possible songs that were played to that scene, but it just looked good to me. But like I said,
literally just don't hold back, push the button.
Say what?
I think it's literally just called "Don't Hold Back."
See, now I gotta hurry. I gotta hurry get a free kid weekend so we can watch it. Also, Joe, we did cover Sakamoto Days, which will be appearing on Netflix tomorrow. Looks freaking great. Anything else you want to add to that as well?
He fights a robot dinosaur at one point.
It still looks freaking great. Also, before we get to the Spider-Man trailer, also your thoughts on? We also said that Lobo announcement, because Jason Momoa can now announce that he is playing Lobo now. I guess because the NDAs ran out. Anything you want to add to that outside of the fact that that's perfect casting?
I didn't know Jason Momoa was a Highlander because he was the one.
I have got to start getting rim shot. I have to get rim shot sound effects.
He is literally the only one of the original DC Snyderverse cast to come back, to be told, like, wait, everybody get out except you. You can stay.
Pretty much.
Well, no, that's not entirely true. Technically, Blue Beetle is part of the Snyderverse, but also the unofficial start of the
Gunverse. He said Blue Beetle's technically the start of his universe.
Right. He did say that. So there's that too. So that's why I'm like, I got nothing more I can say to it. Kira has already said that's her water biker daddy, so she's got her stamp of approval on it. Also,
Superman thoughts.
Yeah, gonna ask you about that too because we did play the Gun Superman trailer. Your thoughts on that as well?
Great casting all around. The dog is adorable. Crypto's good. If he had summoned Streaky, he would just be dying. He would be dying in the snow as Streaky just sits there and waits to eat him. Lots of people making fun of Guy Gardner. Comparing him to Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester in the first Addams Family. Guys, you've got to do better. Go read a book. Again, I say this. Go read a book. Go look at Kevin McGuire. There's Chris. I'm going to keep going.
Please do.
Oh, I'm sure I've had you rolling since I popped up. With my hot takes coming in immediately on the Sue Storm and Reed Richards controversies. It's just been go read a book. Again, go read a book. Go read the early Justice League written by J.M. DeMatteis and Keith Giffen. Please go look up the artist Kevin McGuire. That is Native Building's doing a 1-to-1 representation of Guy Gardner of the classic Bwahaha years, where that man has more of a head trauma than I do fingers on my hands. It is about as many personalities as there is to go with him. Please actually look up some stuff from Guy Gardner. You'll find out a lot of fun things. Like, he was the original and supposed to be the original wielder of the ring that first crashed with that gave Hal Jordan his ring. And the only reason Hal Jordan got it over Guy is because Hal was closer. Captured and tortured for years in the Phantom Zone by Zod and his family, while Hal Jordan goes and tries to wed his fiance, only for Guy Gardner to escape and then immediately get hit by a bus. So Guy Gardner. The reason why he looks so plastic is that man just takes a lot of blow to the faces. If you read more about him, yes, he is undeniably a colossal asshole in those comics. But they think it's possibly because of multiple personality disorder because of all the severe head trauma he had. Because if you read Guy Gardner nowadays, during the Blackest Night era, that's a completely different Guy Gardner. That's the Guy Gardner you will fall in love with and see the reason why that man has a rank. I am not making an excuse for him in the Bwahaha era. I've read it. But you guys gotta do your due diligence. Go read a book. Go find the artist that inspired it. Because even Kevin McGuire posted on X at one point, also on his Twitter. No, that was like something I drew.
Okay. Also, before we get to the Spider-Man trailer, also we did find out that Transformers Reactivated, the game that we talked about that was showing a video game 2 weeks ago. Yeah, canceled.
They found out it was a scam.
Okay, because they tried to blame. We found out from the article that we saw that it was potential. It was because the company having potential layoffs, but it was actually a scam too.
They asked for the Transformers IP to boost their portfolio so that they could look promising enough for Tencent to buy them, only to do a proof of concept trailer and get toys out by a Hasbro, but they never intended on making the game.
So it's basically the day. It's like the day before.
They sat there and waited for Tencent to buy them because they had the Transformers license, and when that fell through, finally they're just like, we're not making the game.
Damn, well, that explains a lot. Also, Sega said no more mini consoles because a lot of people are thinking that they were going to come out with a mini Dreamcast, and Sega has came out and said that after the mini Sega Drive, after the mini Mega Drive, we are no longer producing any more mini consoles. Me and Tafaro were kind of bummed about that because
a sorely missed opportunity.
Yes, it is. A mini Dreamcast would sell like hotcakes. It would.
The majority of what we bought Dreamcast for are coming out in Capcom Fighting Collection, and the only stuff we really need are stuff like Crazy Taxi is getting a reboot. Sonic Adventures has had numerous returns to the Nintendo consoles.
Let's not forget
So
the 2K.
the only thing we don't have is like
Soul
2K, Calibur, and that's it.
Well, also
Soul Calibur's
2K
not coming back for a while.
Right, but also the sports side too, with 2K Sports, Top Spin, some other fighting games that were also kind of on the far. It was not on the import side, but still, the fact that the Dreamcast when it first came out was ahead of its time, and let's also be honest, a lot of us, unless you've been really careful with your consoles, a lot of those Dreamcast consoles are not working. So imagine the fact that you can bring that back in the same sense that you brought the mini consoles back. And I keep getting mad at Sega because how dare Sega give us these IPs to look forward to, but you don't want to jump back into the console battle. Because really everything has been, and I hate to say it this way, everything has been either PlayStation or Xbox. We don't even count the Switch anymore, although the Switch itself is a wonderful system.
And it's a standalone. It's literally a standalone.
Yes.
Which is hilarious considering Xbox is moving away from consoles. I don't think Xbox is long for this console cycle anymore. I think it's going to come down to the Switch and down to the PlayStation.
See, I could say that, but we also said the same. We also said the same thing after Xbox One. We also
but they keep damaging their own IPs further and further. When was the last time we heard of a Halo game?
You know why? For the sake of keep this podcast on track and on time.
Well, I'll put it this way: we are seeing them expand more and more into publishing than we are exclusive content.
Okay, true.
There's that, and then the majority of anything we get, also they take their own legs out from underneath them and put it on PC. Which, for those of you that have PCs that can run these games, they're going to run better, faster, cleaner, and clearer than they are on any console. So why would you even bother getting it on an Xbox?
Because the only problem with Halo has always been this. For some odd reason, let me put it this way. 3 was great. 2 was peak. 1 was fun. But story-wise, and it's just like you try to copy other elements from other shooters instead of just coming up with your own. Gears of War is a great example of that because do I love Gears of War? Yes. I love 1 through 3. I love Judgment. I love 4. 5 was just because 5 felt rushed. And so what did they have to do? You had to go back to E-Day, something that fans have always talked about. If you follow the lore, you follow the books. You know about Emergence Day. Why was there never a game about the fall of Sarah and the rise of the Locusts? Right there we have a game that's literally E-Day, to where we have a young Dom, we have a young Marcus Phoenix, and you've revitalized revitalized the brand. Could Halo do the same thing? Yes, but the problem with Halo is they take a product, they rush it, and they expect fan loyalty. You're not going to do that by game 4, game 5. It's not there anymore. Mm-hmm. So that's why Halo Infinite failed. Halo Infinite failed because after you beat the main campaign, what's left? Oh, we have skins. We have events. You basically turned into Fortnite, which again, if you like Fortnite, happy for you. But I didn't want to go to Halo and play Fortnite. In the same sense, you go to Call of Duty, and if you're like me, I want to play the campaign. I don't want to immediately jump into multiplayer and then go straight into zombies. If that's your thing, cool. But a lot of the fan base got lost because of that. Halo lost its entire fan base because they tried to copy and emulate other shooters. That was the problem. Microsoft
two games that was at the top of their in my opinion, that was in that arena was Battlefronts and Halo.
Another one.
It was once again.
Yeah, Battlefront was cool too.
I'm going to argue.
Go ahead, Joe.
was saying, I'm going to argue ODST and Reach are also up there. And the reason why Halo isn't doing that well is because not the fans aren't there. It's because they expect every Halo game to hit Halo 3 sales numbers. And when they aren't, they're pivoting hard to something else that will.
Yeah, I can't fully agree. Although ODST should have been more of an addition to a game versus a game by itself, because that was a money grab. Reach could have also been an
no
addition.
Argument.
Yeah, it should have been. Not, for them to be standalone games, they were both money grabs. But again, I digress just because I am a Halo fan. I still go back and play 1 through 3. It's just that Microsoft freaking do better. But Captain, sorry, we went on a long rant.
No, I want the rants. I want the tangents. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, and we don't come back for a couple more weeks, so I need this.
But I'll also throw this to you before we.
Chris really likes angry. Chris really likes Angry Joe, and by that I mean me.
Well,
it's entertaining.
I'm actually glad because after we get through Spider-Man, there is a certain role for a very beloved X-Men character that's picking up steam just because we're getting ever so closer to that possible casting. But before we get to that, guys, like I said, still catching back up for 2024. This also came out while GetBit was on hiatus. Marvel has came out with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and some people had some issues about certain cast members. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Peter, you're going to be late.
Sorry, man, I'm up. I'm okay.
Hey, Petey's always been a bit clumsy.
You know me, clumsy, Petey, Parker. Help! Mr. Campbell, I remembered I left something in the bathroom. Deuces. Parker out.
Superpower size kid, know you want a neighbor like me. Look out.
Somebody help me! He's running, grab him! Gotcha!
I thought it was Dan Meat. Check out our next victim in his dumbass costume.
Is my suit really that bad? Ouch! Oh! Watch out for that ladder!
Just consider it a good deed from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's me, by the way. I'm Spider-Man.
There we go again. Swinging through the city so fast you could barely notice him.
I truly believe that I have these powers to help people, to protect them.
Need my city, you need me. Taking off the mask, I know what you see. Know you want a neighbor like me. Just a young man cleaning up the streets. Ain't nothing changed, no, this is the real me.
So, you're Spider-Man. With my help, you'll achieve greatness.
Oh, man! This suit's incredible! If you ever need another butt kicking, just look for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Know you want a neighbor
And no, you may not be excused from said test. Ah, nice of you to join us, Mr. Parker. See me after class.
And that, guys, was the trailer for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that'll be on Disney Plus. So, fellas, as I'm looking for the scene that's basically taking a lot of incels off, how do we feel about it?
Like the voice cast, like the animation, I actually like the entire design.
Mm-hmm.
However, I need to know why. There's the reimagining thing.
Mm-hmm.
Make it more modern. You can see that. You see the reimagining, that you see all that. Make it more modern. You can make it any more modern than that. You still have a lot of story to tell. I'll wait to watch. I'm not gonna hate on it because I'm a fan of the character. I'm a fan of the stories. You know, we've seen the different iterations before in other different animations for Spider-Man. How they kind of, in every iteration of Spider-Man, they've always done something. They've changed when he's met certain characters. They've changed who's in his life in high school. They've done a lot of things, and I think what that suffers from it isn't really geared towards the older audience. It's geared towards the more younger audience to get them more involved. And I get that. That's marketing. I get that part. We've seen it. What was the one, the version they had on, it's like with Iron Man. The Iron Man that they had on Nickelodeon. Oh, and it was more CGI, like more CGI than anything. It was animated, but it was Armored Adventures. And like they had he met a T'Challa that was the same age as him. That was already Black Panther. It was a lot of stuff he was dealing with being Iron Man as a teenager in high school. And while the stories were there, it was different.
Yeah.
And I think it's just dealing with the difference. Now, I'm not going to even lie. Even as you're pausing it right here and you're looking at Norman Osborn, that's Norman Osborn.
That's Lex Luthor.
Yes. It's Lex Luthor.
Don't lie to these people. That's Lex Luthor.
Yeah. You know what? No, I'll take that back. You're right. It's Lex Luthor. Animated series, Lex Luthor. And you got my guy, Coleman PTSO Domingo, for those that don't know, that's put that shit on.
They're hating on Junior's hair. I don't know why.
I don't know neither. That's why I said I won't hate it, because once again, I can actually say that I'm a fan of all this nerd stuff, bad or good. Let me see it first before I start tearing it apart. And then I'm not even going to get online to tear it apart. If I don't like it, I just won't watch it.
I just love the fact it's Norman with the waves. The waves are what I'm just like.
Kind of tells itself, doesn't it?
Yes. And then you got his son, which again, I am not knocking how they did Harry and how they did Norman. There are people out there that have other opinions. I'll even be. I just feel like they need to get out of their mom's basement and touch grass, or if you're in Nashville, Tennessee, or basically on the eastern side of the U.S., touch snow. But I'm not knocking it. I think, like I said, the animation is clean. I like where they're going with this. Peter, starting out in a different suit, not the traditional red and blue that we know. I'm not knocking any of this because this is a fresh take on Spider-Man's beginnings. So yeah, I can't knock it. I'm gonna definitely.
It's not in the 616 universe. Even though at first, when the first teasers were coming out, people were thinking, I thought so too. I
want to know.
I think the initial plan was it was supposed to be MCU Peter's first year on the job, and then they realized you don't really follow that. You can't really follow No Way Home with that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
there's a lot involved.
Yeah.
So Kira asks, is he Dominican with that top knot? My question is, as I ask people with all top knots, are you Hiroyuki Sanada, or do you serve? What Shogun do you serve? If the question into those answer are no, why do you have a top knot? Now, right here, I'm fine with it because to me, this kind of reminds me of the Vampire Samurai, the Black Vampire Samurai in Guilty Gear. He's got top knot dreads. It's like the baby version of that hairstyle. I'm guessing he wants us to be dreads eventually, just doesn't have enough to braid up top. Or have enough top to get the start of the dread.
Yeah.
You know what else this reminds me of?
At least it's not the Killmonger.
No, it's not the Killmonger.
Yeah, at least not the Killmonger haircut. That's the point I was going to get out. But go ahead. What are you going to say, Chris?
A couple of years ago, they reimagined the Buffy comics, and they put the entire Scooby crew back in high school, but a lot of things changed. Like Xander became a vampire. Willow became a.
That's right for the actual actor.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. But Willow became a witch much earlier.
I was about to say nothing changed.
Yeah. You like it's just the timing and just certain things. Cordelia became part of the crew much earlier, you know. So it was they made it was a reimagining.
Yeah.
You know.
But again, it's hard not to, like you said, it's hard not to find anything wrong with this because again, it's good. I can't find fault with this.
Oh, no.
I can't. I'm sorry, go ahead, JJ.
Chris, pull the video back. We got to talk because Joe knows stuff.
Ah, shoot. Give me a second, but keep going.
No, actually, I need you to pull it back to where he's in the hallway with the three girls.
Oh, yep. Mary Jane.
Yeah, hold on.
Not in this.
Yep, 1 second, because I just actually moved on to the next still, but give me a second.
Mary Jane is not in this. They have officially said Mary Jane and Ned Leeds will not, or MJ, Zendaya, MJ, and Ned Leeds will not be a part of this series at any point. This is a different world. My thoughts, as we will get into, because we left on one particular scene. This is the world of the Fantastic Four. This is our first look at the Fantastic Four of this world. This is the Pedro Pascal Fantastic Four. Right there.
Okay.
A little bit forward. That way we got all three of them. And I know this because the woman behind Peter is Nico Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
That has been confirmed. She's got the staff of one. The one touching her right now is Propangan, which is Wave. She's a mutant. And then my guess is this may be Betty Brant. But we have a confirmed magic user. We have a confirmed mutant in the cast already.
That is Nico.
So
this has been confirmed to be Propangan.
So they subtly introduced mutants into the mutants in Spider-Man.
Yes, so she has Propangan, for those unaware. She is from the Philippines. She is full Filipino. She has been part of Agents of the Atlas. She has been at one point she went toe-to-toe with Namor. It did not go well for her, but she can go briefly toe-to-toe with Namor. So we got mutants, huge Asian API representation. We got a magic user. We got mutants. We are moving in a this is not the normal Peter. This is probably Peter from the Pedro Pascal universe, because the white suit is from the Future Foundation.
Right.
What did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
They may play it off as Norman running the Future Foundation, but that is undeniably the Future Foundation costume.
Yep.
So there's that. So first off, big shout out to the Filipino community. They have very, very small representation in a lot of stuff, so I'm very happy for them. This also opens up the fact that we will have larger representation. We could have Luna Snow, because she's a big hit right now. There we go. It's part of one of the Future Foundation costumes. We could also have the new Iron Fist / Sword Master pop up. Amadeus Joe could also make an appearance. Now, this is just Joe with the API fixation because Joe is part Japanese, but we at least do have a confirmed magic user and a confirmed mutant already as part of the main cast. Potentially one of Peter's love interests? Question mark.
They also have one other person that they did not show.
Right. Oh,
which one's that?
Charlie Cox.
Daredevil. So,
yep.
He could also appear in this. So that's a fair point.
A Daredevil. So yeah, so I have no idea if the third girl is anyone. May just be this universe's Betty Brant, but no. Those were some things I picked up on this, and plus, also the Nico Monroe thing got spoiled with the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man comic.
What do you mean, Kira? You gotta be specific.
Charlie Cox thing.
Jesus fucking. Oh, there you go.
Charlie Day. No, Luigi is not in that.
No, I'm sorry. Me and Kira still got Always Sunny Abbott crossover still on the brain.
That was a great episode.
Luigi's not in this.
Although if you do see somebody with a whiteboard, I'm just saying they got opportunity.
Pepe Sylvia.
Like if they got a whiteboard to me right now means something entirely different. That's the murder board from Castle.
I wouldn't. And you know what, Nathan?
Hey, I'm on season 8.
Oh, I love Castle. But Tafara, any thoughts on your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
I'm curious. How long is it supposed to be? Do we know yet?
No.
I don't think we know. I don't think there's any information as far as episodes go.
I'm curious to see their take on it. It's he's got the very classic Peter look. I'll give him that. And clearly, dude from What If has found his own vocal direction, because I know it's him, but he clearly has dropped the Tom impersonation, which I'm okay with. So I'm curious to see how
it still has certain cadences though that's very reminiscent.
Yeah.
Anything's better than the last 2 iterations. What Marvel's Spider-Man was just unremarkable, and Spider-Man and the Web Warriors or whatever they want to call him, where it's like he wasn't Spider-Man, he was Deadpool Jr. most of the series.
The Ultimate Spider-Man?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man, thank you.
I didn't mind it until the Web Warrior stuff, when it just I didn't like how they kind of just threw the other cast aside. Like
oh yeah.
Like when they all were technically homeless because the helicarrier blew up and they all had to bunk with Peter. I think that was like one of their best seasons.
That was giving Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
A little bit.
That's exactly what it was giving.
Definitely that. But
then even Fury with the goofy antics. It's like, your house blew up. We built an exact replica in a barn somewhere. Go ahead and put it into place.
Nice. But I think we can all say as a whole, we're definitely looking forward to this. As it gets closer to when Disney will let us know when it will be available on Disney Plus. More than likely, it's going to be weekly episodic because nobody decides to give full seasons anymore. So, sad for us. But with also that being said, I did want to wait on the last trailer just because it is for Virtua Fighter, and we got some discussions about that. I'm waiting for Joe to come back. But the other side I wanted to get to, because again, with Tafari and Capitan and Lady Mandalore in our own group, in our own chat, this came up today, and this seems to be picking up Storm. Literally, Storm. Cynthia Erivo. If you don't know who she is by now, watch Wicked or watch any other production she's been in. She is a very talented I don't want to just say actor. Actor seems so limited.
She's a very talented singer, actress, and Broadway talent.
Thank you. But that also being said, she has said that her dream role is to play X-Men Storm. Now, I know you've heard this on multiple podcasts, including our own, that when it comes down to it, who would you rather, if you had the casting, if you will. And with Miss Avero, it just basically reignited that because we have quite the list of possible people who could play Aurora Monroe. As
thank you.
Kira wasted no time.
It's only 2. It's for me. It's only 2. Yetide Badaki and Jodie Turner-Smith.
And
those are my top billings. And you can't go wrong with either one.
Yeah, can't argue that. So it's just interesting. The reason why I wanted to bring this up with everybody is because we see, and not the fact that more names are being brought up, as I'm not saying we're getting close to a casting, because of right now, Marvel is being very hush on the X-Men outside of comic book publication and Storm. If you haven't read Storm standalone series, you really should. It is definitely making rounds.
You need to get that. Exactly. You need to get that.
Yeah, definitely need to get that if you haven't already, because trust me, that is Storm standalone story right now is beyond great. I'll just leave it at that. But the reason why I bring this up, because as we see more, and again, I love to see this, more of our very talented women come forward, can we not say that and I say this because it's a little hard to find some argument in this for me. can we not say that any woman that's as prominent as Miss Aviro, as prominent as Mrs. Badaki, as prominent as others down the line, including the great Angela Bassett herself, although she will always be Queen Mother, could there really be a definite, or it's just the fact that every one of these actors, actresses, and entertainers really could do it? Is it hard to find the definitive standout?
The fact that we have so many prominent, talented Black women who you could actually say, I can see that. It makes you say, yeah, your picks are going to be very, very extensive. Like, you can you go wrong? Of course.
Yeah.
But the fact that we've had so many people, and like you said, we have lists. We've had lists. Go back, watch Blurred's Eye View. We have lists. It's in our group chat. It's everywhere. We have lists. And the picks that we have, I'm just saying, damn good picks. So that makes the final decision very, very different.
And that's the part I'm getting at. Tafara, what do you think?
Not sure. I very much think don't even put out a press release. Like just drop it in a movie somewhere and make people have to go see it to find out, because I don't need the rage bait and the clicks and the terrible AI thumbnails of people's discussions. Just that. Another thing, I think the story will choose the actress.
Go ahead.
I think the story and whatever origin they choose will also help determine our actress.
And who's to say that they may already have someone?
That too. And
the actress who portrays Riri Williams at one point did try out for Shuri.
Yep.
They're screen testing and everything. So that was how long ago was that?
I think Fantastic Four and whatever their established world is will give us. I think we may get some permanent slots. I think we may get some variants. And in the aftermath of Galactus, I think they're going to see how people react, and then they will just do like they did in Endgame. Anybody we didn't see on screen, here's the Avenge the Fallen poster of those who didn't make it, and we'll be getting recast because of how y'all acted.
Right.
Well, technically, Storm is still cast, and people don't realize it. You know all those wonderful children that got casted in the X-Men ones where it was the Phoenix came last time? The Dark Phoenix, all that cast from First Class and whatnot?
Yeah, Alexandria.
Yeah, they're still under contract. And that's why no X-Men movies have been made, because if they do anything, they have to be in it because they're contractually obligated to be in those movies. Meaning that's a little girl that Storm, who I don't know who she is, but does a good one. Alexandra Shipp, thank you. She is still technically cast as Storm.
The girl from the Apocalypse film.
So that's
the one who actually does the accent.
Oh
yeah,
and that's about it.
She is still technically Storm due to the Fox contracts, which transfers over to Marvel when Marvel bought Fox. So at this point they're playing the WCW game. Sit at home, don't take anything, and you'll get your money, because I'm wondering if they got paid for play contracts.
Hey.
Thank you, Animaniacs, for teaching us about that, by the way.
Yeah.
So we technically still have Storm cast, and can't recast her until that contract limit is up.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
it's a fair point. But they
why not just give it to Alexandra Shipp? She should be the right age right now to be a fairly decent middle-aged Storm.
Yeah, but it's like how Kira and Tafara said. The story choose the actress, so it depends on where they're going to start with Storm. I don't want it to be an origin story because, again, we don't want an origin story with Storm, but we don't know where they're going to. We don't know exactly where the X-Men are gonna fit when their time comes in the MCU. We don't know where they're going to start or how they can do it.
Yes, we do.
How?
X-Men 97 made them too much money. You know they're going to start with the 97 X-Men and say that their world's in the 90s, and they'll bring them over that way. They will not take that money.
I'm not going to argue about that point. It's a strong point, but again, Marvel's been known to throw us red herrings. And I also, Bo, sir, could you stop being Aubrey? Don't you're going to Aubrey status right now, Mr. Bo.
Very close.
He's just showing who he really is.
I seen where you were going with that, Joe.
The fall from Grace.
It's less of the poor me from 97 X-Men 97 Bo to the we told you about him during the Witcher. We told you about him and his problems during the Witcher. Bo
yeah, look, Mr. DeMeo, we want to be on your side. We do. Okay, we want to be on your side, but right now you're making it very hard to like you because you went from educating us to now it's like, oh, it's not going to be this or it's not going to be that. Sir, we understand the circumstances, but just don't pull a Drake. That's all we're asking. Just, be silent sometimes. Or, the thing I liked about Bo before I go on to Virtua Fighter is that for your run in X-Men 97, you gave us homework for the non instituted, because you said said, hey, if you want to know about this, go read this, go watch this, go read that. You gave people homework, and you might have actually made some comic book readers out of people. That is a great thing to do. Now it's just like you're kind of like a Target shopper in Walmart. You see everybody beneath you right now. I'm just saying, sir, take the win, maybe produce something else, because trust me, as talented as you were on X-Men 97, other companies and areas could really use your help. Just pointing that out there. That's all I'm saying. Also, don't be a dick, literally. But
it feels like bait at this point because whoever was on charge was like, yeah, we didn't know we could use X-Men and what if. I'm like, you say that and have Storm right in our face. So what did you like? Was that just bait for him to rage? And then they
used 3 mutants in What If,
right?
And it's just like, oh yeah, we didn't know we could use them. I'm just like, clearly that was a fucking lie. But then
two of them didn't even speak.
And it's like, how did you not know? It's like you're telling me What If had full command and you just what are we, Deadpool now? You didn't have enough budget to get all the X-Men?
I think whoever's in charge of What If is now on 97, so that could also be part of the TIFF.
Yeah.
But then it's like Dr. Disrespect before he told on himself to some rando on Twitter. Like it's not helping that they're not telling us what the final straw was. Like it's not like between that and y'all hidden tweets on Mufasa, it's not helping Disney in their case either. Because like, what did he do that was so damn bad? And it's like y'all.
I thought Deadline posted that he was making unsolicited passes at the staff.
The Deadline and a bunch of blogs said stuff, but none of it got confirmed by the Mouse. So we're all just going off speculation.
The Mouse never going to confirm that because they don't want to make themselves look like they hired somebody like that.
Well, the Mouse doesn't want to pull a Fox Sports right now.
Yeah. The Mouse is literally just like, we've been at this way too long to even.
The Mouse is going to collect this money. And it's like, look, everybody else, remember your NDAs? Remember those NDAs you signed? You want to still get paid, right?
So we're just getting his angle of stuff, and when he doesn't even know, he just has this attention of people looking for an answer that we're never going to get, and it's just can we get a fucking Blu-ray please before y'all go into cultural civil war? That's all I'm asking. Like,
yeah, please.
Like, y'all, why there should have been announcements for X-Men and What Ifs now that the entire thing is wrapped. But no, go back to lying about Mufasa with your head asses.
Dude, we just now got the announcement that Hawkeye's getting a Blu-ray.
Yeah. Damn. That's saying a lot, ain't it? Hawkeye was what?
Who is dropping the ball over there?
Going on 2 years ago, Hawkeye was 2 years. Hawkeye was 2 years.
Whenever No Way Home came out, Hawkeye was like right after that.
Oh dear God, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that was 2 years ago. Damn.
You normally get Blu-rays we got Falcon and Winter Soldier before that,
right?
The whole series.
I'm just saying.
They have to focus on their 30-year-old baby called Mufasa. So all guns over there.
It's fine. It's doing fine.
It's not doing Hedgehog fine, which is the problem.
That's their fault.
Whoever's job it is to hide those tweets has got to just be exhausted, and that shit is hilarious. Neither film is bad. I've seen both. Neither one is bad. It's just the fact that like their ego can't take the hit.
Pretty much. But
you came out first. You did well. You should have just done better marketing.
I don't even know if it's a marketing thing. It is just the cult fandom of Sonic the Hedgehog and the cult. One of the biggest games. What is he got it down for the vault close? Yeah, literally.
Leave it to Kira to throw the alley oop at the right time. But
the thing that all my damn VHSs say, it's not. They came out same day. It's just. One is an okay movie and does a decent job of telling a good origin story while merging with the past and fixing some things people have complained about. And the other one is taking a game that people have played since the Dreamcast and made their children play. And then you throw Jim Carrey and a bunch of other people in the mix. And it's also I think the second highest video game movie. So
yeah,
it's you have competition. I know you don't like that very much, but deal with it. Quit lying on Twitter.
I'm just saying. But
of all places, Twitter.
Really dark places. But we also have one other thing we gotta get to, guys, before we get to our reviews of shows, because a couple of shows did wrap up their first seasons. But Virtua Fighter, a game that has made headlines because of its showing during the NVIDIA CES show. So basically, guys, what I'm about to show you, a lot of people, and I have to stress this very heavily, this, as Sega has told us, is pre-footage, which means this is not actual gameplay. However, they were showing off what the graphics card can do. For a lot of us gamers, yeah, thank you. But for a lot of gamers, this is what we saw, and we're kind of wondering, are they pulling our legs, or is this really going to be the game? Now, that was just 30 seconds. The thing that we're getting at here is, y'all, for all those that are wondering why we are and I'm just going to mute this and just let this play again. But the reason why we're all just mouths dropping in awe is because anyone that play Virtua Fighter, there is no meters, and there's no meters, no drive systems. It's all blocks, combos, parries, throws, and kicks. But this is damn near martial arts movie level of how smooth it is. How smooth it is, how the attacks are, how the graphics look. And this is all based off NVIDIA's 5000 series. Now, will this translate to Virtua 6 whenever that gets announced or when it gets released? Because we know Sega's working on it, but I'm just going to point this out here, fellas. Should we be hyped that this is the level that Virtua Fighter may be bringing, or should we let this go because it's basically pre-footage?
If it's pre-development, meaning they can improve upon it, I would say hold a little bit of anticipation, a little bit of hype. Ultimately, let's see a full-on trailer and make sure they don't let us down.
Okay. Also, I'll throw this in there too. So Maximilian Dodd, who a lot of people follow, I follow myself, he brought up a very interesting point. about pre-footage was that if a game is showing you pre-footage, that means that whatever they're at right now in development has to be equal or better, because you're not going to show something of that caliber if you're not already at that level or close to it. So that's the reason why I'm like, it's a fair point, because Street Fighter did the same thing with 4, I believe. 4 had pre-footage, and 4 was great. 4 essentially led on to 5 and now 6. So because Virtua Fighter hasn't been around for, oh dear God, I want to say 10 plus years. Last one was what? Yeah. So
2014. Not to mention the other thing we're not talking about is these are the Yakuza guys programming this game. They know what they're doing.
Rightfully so. So I'm definitely not complaining about that one. But Chris Tafari, does this make you want to invest in this one, considering the fact that the fighting games out there right now, with Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Tekken 8? Yeah, Tekken 8.
While it does look fantastic, it's not enough to say I gotta grab it.
Right.
Yeah, that was a tech demo. I still need more. Also, didn't during the break, didn't Mortal Kombat get completely clapped along with Suicide Squad?
Damn near.
Yeah.
I think they said they're wrapping development and calling it.
Oh yeah, no. The DLC underperformed to the point where they're stopping all development for Mortal Kombat 1.
Right.
Outside of like balance patches.
So pretty much the Chaos Reigns DLC didn't perform as well as Afterlife did.
And none of the comic character DLC did well. It was only Ketchup Mustard, or like I'm calling them what they are in the community. That's not my fault.
Oh no.
Noob and Ermac and Takeda did higher numbers.
I had to stop myself because every time someone played Cyrax, all they did was play Mustard. They played Kendrick Lamar's song. That's all I heard. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I mean, yeah, the seasonal DLC underperformed great. I wouldn't say greatly, but just like not to what their expectations were. But WB has very unrealistic expectations, as do most game studios these days.
They expected it to sell out. They expected it to sell out the same way 10 did, not understanding that 10 took its time. They tried to take 11's process. They took 11's game. You try to do 10's process, and you try to rush it. So
and air combos.
And then you fleeced. You did what every gaming company does that they shouldn't do. You fleeced your gaming community. You're like, hey, you want this person? It's $5. You want this DLC? It's another $25 or $45. You want this character? It's another $5. It's like people would rather just wait till they get Game of the Year editions and play the games in. But the fighting game market depends on this. Okay, how do we drive revenue post main game production? Oh, we're just going to do these skins. We're going to do tournaments that you can buy into. We're going to do these things. And the problem is, well, as we all know, money is getting tighter this year. Higher than it usually is. You don't really have time to be spending $5 to $10 on a single access character when you might as well just wait for or not wasting $40 to $50 on a season's pass. You want the game in its entirety. And a lot of people are just not rushing to get that instant gratification no more. That's why 11 didn't do well. I mean, that's just my opinion, but that's
yeah. And I think what's also happening is a lot of gamers are realizing it's not worth it.
The midnight releases ain't what it used to be.
The midnight releases aren't what they used to be. They're tired of these patches. They're tired of the DLCs. Mm-hmm. They want the full game.
Exactly. Hence why so many other games did well. Why Sifu did well. Why Black Myth Wukong still doing well. I mean, these
it's
are
like it's the plainest. If you make the if you want people to get the game,
mm-hmm.
will make it well, make it where it's not so easily beat,
mm-hmm.
and get your graphics together.
Pretty much.
And then you hit the nail on the head every time. That's all it takes. If you're already winning when you say Mortal Kombat. How long has it been around?
91?
Yeah.
90?
So all you gotta say is new Mortal Kombat dropping. Done.
Or if you want to be honest, God of War.
Yeah, there you go.
Santa Monica Studios gave us 2 complete God of War games. And just because we're a loyal fan base, we're going to give you this Valhalla DLC for free.
Yep.
And I mean, you didn't fleece your players. You sat there and said, oh, by the way, Ragnarok's available right now. You damn near crashed Sony servers when you announced at the Game Awards, oh, by the way, Ragnarok is available. It's free and you can get it right now. How many people downloaded that and had fun with it? It wasn't a bad DLC. It was actually a great DLC.
And for those who've played it, the new Indiana Jones game is good.
I've only heard good stuff about that too.
Yeah, also complete. So again, it is amazing that in a world of narrative, and again, yeah, people are going to argue, well, they're narrative driven gameplay. Yes, but the formula still remains the same. If you paid $60, $70, or God forbid, over $100 for a video game, you don't want to 2 months down the road spend another $40, unless it's subscription games like World of Warcraft. Okay, you understand what comes to territory. Destiny. Okay, that comes with the territory because those games are subscription based. If you want to play the next chapter, you're going to have to pay. You have to pay the toll. Those games I understand and accept. But when it comes to fighting games and other things, you can't use a subscription. You can't use that subscription. We want complete games. And again, it's amazing when you throw free stuff at your gamers. Imagine how loyal they are. And also, perfect example, Helldivers 2. If anybody listens to their fan base, when Helldivers 2 was mucking up and the gamers told the developers, hey, y'all are mucking up Helldivers 2, how quickly was the change from those developers to the game?
Mm-hmm.
To now, it's won awards. It's just I think it's had its now second edition added to the game, and it's still collecting subscribers. So imagine the simple fact of the matter: if you pay attention to the gamers, if you make it cost effective, and you give complete games, your crowd won't leave you. It ain't like
I miss the days of you getting skins or new characters by literally doing missions in the game.
A lot, yeah.
Outside of your main portion of the game, you still had your side missions that you can unlock. Lego Marvel is still 150 plus characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a lot of game time.
And can have fun with it. Plus, there's never been such a thing against bad Lego game, but still,
no, that's true. That's true.
But that's
the Arkham series games. The freaking Riddler trophies. Come on.
Did I hate those? Did I hate all those 80? Did I hate all those 89 Riddler trophies? Yes. Did I want to beat his ass the moment I collected those trophies?
Yes.
I wanted to beat his ass. I was not going to talk to the Riddler after collecting all them damn trophies. I wanted to go in there with hands rated E for everyone.
That's why I look at. That's why I'm like, why all the DLCs? Just allow me to unlock it and figure it and go from there. If you open up new maps, okay.
Yep. But that's the thing. It's just like when you can actually when you put value into the games, when you put thought into the games, when you put care into the games, those are the games that get replay value. I mean, you don't believe me? Also, another one before we move on to the reviews. Cyberpunk 2077. That release was horrible. Yeah. How many patches and updates did it take to where people started going?
They're just now.
Yeah.
Just now getting it together.
Right. And I was one of the ones, and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the ones that purchased the game when it first came out. Granted, it was patchy, it was buggy, it crashed multiple times, muddled through it to play it. Now, it's sublime. It's perfect. They've added on a DLC. The DLC, Phantom Liberty, is great. They keep adding things that are free to the users. So, if anything, CD Projekt Red, which basically did Cyberpunk and is now doing the next Witcher game, they've learned. Respect your fan base, your game will do well. Disrespect them, you wind up like Anthem. That's all I'm saying. But
to be fair, Anthem does look like the tech demo. It's just it's a crap game.
Yeah.
And it is basically an unfun Iron Man simulator.
Pretty much. And it was supposed to be great. This is the reason why I loved Anthem for the idea. I hate EA for the execution.
Poor EA. A fall from freaking grace.
And I mean, EA used to have it made, and then they just came out with crap after crap after crap. And not Arkham. Kill the Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League. Rockstar.
What was the other Arkham game that should have done well? What was it called?
Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
You already had. All you did was just add characters. You had it made. You just added playable characters. That's all you had to do was keep the same formula with new characters. People would have ate it up.
And yet, what happened? Gotham Knights went the same way Gotham Knights television show did.
Ooh.
Unknown.
Ooh. But I literally forgot about that show. Damn.
Yeah, that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. And I mean, no offense to Misha Collins, you will always be my Gabriel from Supernatural, sir. That's a credit that you can just leave off. You try.
Castiel,
yeah. I'm sorry, Castiel. I call him Gabriel. You've always been at Castiel, sir. But Jesus, you could have left Gotham Knights alone. Hey, Laney. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're staying warm because, again, if you're on the east side like the rest of us, we're all sitting in snow. I don't think we know anybody on the west side, but if you are staying on the west side, hopefully you're cool and safe. I came at the right time talking about Supernatural. Well, Misha Collins we were talking about because he was in Gotham Knights, and, well, it came and gone. But, we'll always have time for Supernatural. It really should end after season 5. But, again, I digress. But reviews, because again, we do have a lot of shows. That were actually a few of them did wrap up that we didn't get to because we were on hiatus. Oh, you're not in snow. Oh, lucky you. But first and foremost, we do got to start with the one show that we will never see again, and I'm kind of sad about it. What If season 3? I'm just gonna go around the bend because again, this was a series, in my opinion, that shouldn't have ended. We really should have continued this, but I'm gonna start with you, Tafari. What are your thoughts on the final season of What If season 3?
I would have liked to see more of the mech fights in the first episode because they just told us that everyone died off, and I'm like, okay, but how?
Right.
I did like seeing some of the stuff. I definitely feel like this was supposed to come out after Ironheart because getting a Riri Williams focused episode,
amazing episode,
and then seeing that the Earth actually would have survived the emergence just in fragments and pieces, kind of like Nowhere.
Yeah.
Again, I know a lot of people don't like the whole Peggy Carter type thing. It just feels like, again, if we had one more episode to flesh out more stuff, because they didn't really explain whether they all lost their worlds or she just lost everything. She's a little bit older and gray. And how did you get Kang's time chair? Like they threw us in with a lot of questions they didn't plan to answer. Agatha versus Arishem was also cool, but again, I liked where we went.
You thought it was cool because they stopped the Celestial from showing up in the middle of Earth and
not even that. I thought it was okay because I'm like, all right, I've had enough Agatha for a lifetime after the show. But even then, I would have liked to see the rest of the Eternals because she's like, they're in storage. I'm like, and that's how we're gonna keep them off screen the whole episode. Cool. Like it was a lot of mentions, but not a lot of viewings. That was my biggest issue.
Okay.
And then the final fight with Eminence, or the what is it, when they became the Living Council or Tribunal or whatever that was.
No, they're just the Eminence. Just
Eminence,
yeah. So it's just here's all the variants you're not going to see. Also, is Kaori officially a mutant? Because we got we had a new mutant, not a new mutants. We had an uncanny X-Men, I think, and a Apocalypse variant out of her.
She kind of falls in that weird gray area because
Yeah.
it's kind of like not quite a mute. She's like the Franklin Richards.
She's a mutate.
Yeah.
Like he's
She's a mutant. There's so the way it goes is mutants which are born with their abilities. They just activate at a certain point in adolescence. You have the mutate, which is like the Peter Parkers, or Franklin Richards. Franklin Richards is a mutant.
It's Reed and Sue, where everyone gets their powers.
Yeah, it gets their power. So that's the Spider-Mans, the Fantastic Four. Then you have the Superhumans, which are, once again, they gain their abilities through, most of the time, science. Cap, Hulk, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did like seeing what was it? Us getting the corporate version of the intro because the Watcher got called into HR in the 7th episode. And then at one point, what is it? It was during either one of the intros, or when he was like, "Don't ask what if and ask what the hell." And I'm like, that's their way of saying like, "Hey, we could do all these episodes, but write them fanfics yourself." And then just the ending is like, y'all could have gave us these episodes. We had Blade as Moon Knight. We had the 6-armed Spider-Man. What is it?
That was actually planned, but they had to nix it because it was such a dark episode.
Yeah.
Wait, they had to nix that, but they could do Marvel Zombies?
I think it was more of a body horror issue.
Yeah.
Again, Marvel Zombies?
Right, we're getting a whole series is coming from that.
I mean, your argument is solid. Your argument is solid.
I'm just saying what they had.
Right.
It's like cool, but like y'all could have gave us any of these, and then we didn't know we could use X-Men, but then you gave us multiple of them along with X-Men variants of characters. So like Storm's T'Challa, Wakanda variant was cool. Seeing her with the with the suit, but even then, I would have liked to see a little bit more. There were some name drops. I'll give them that. There were name drops, but it's like y'all could have shown more of the properties that y'all
The most
own
left
now.
field variant I think I saw was Sabretooth Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
That was different.
It's like I can see her as Elektra, but I cannot see her as Sabretooth.
I still think one more episode could have been a whole deep dive about the rules and how they work, and tying into like Stan Lee in the MCU. And it's like, okay, y'all can watch the Watchers, but like, what happens when they can look back at us? That's not supposed to happen. Y'all have just never addressed this or discussed it, nor did y'all help. And it's like,
that was never covered in the manual.
Like yes, Strange may have done some kooky shit, but it's like, y'all forget the man could see me on his way out the door. Like, it's not like, and why he didn't go to them for help, I don't know. But maybe he knew y'all wouldn't jump in the first place. Who knows? Also,
they had Peggy Carter as Black Knight. Peggy Carter as Black Knight. Storm as Black Panther. Kaori as one of the New Mutants.
Yeah.
Birdie as Nova, part of the Nova, or as the Nova Corps, probably more like lines of Nova. They had Birdie Ashley as a cartoon duck version of herself.
See, I didn't mind Birdie's origin episode. I thought Howard and Darcy's whole thing was hilarious.
It's still a what the F them first few moments. Kaori as Apocalypse, or I'm sorry, as Apocalypse. You had, let me see, you had Kaori as a Captain America variant.
Yeah.
Which still was cool. They, like I said on our records, the animators had fun. They had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
So even at the ending, because we had to keep pausing it because we were just like, "Yo, wait a minute."
My favorite thing is that they got the name they deserved, and it's one of my favorite X teams where they were called the Exiles.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all this was. It's basically what it's not so much what if is. Well, it was what if in season 1, season 2 and 3. It's just the Exiles.
Yeah,
which I'm all for. They are my favorite team until Blink leaves, and then I don't care about the book anymore.
Exactly. Yes. Because he was just like, don't get rid of Blink. Just if you don't get rid of Blink,
I don't mind a good Sabretooth from 2099, but the heart and soul of that book was Blink, and the moment she and Nocturne left, it's like, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
This was nice.
No, but I like they did make like the name drop when he said it. I'm like, they could very well
be the Exiles.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because it was a larger team too. It was T'Challa, it was Party Thor and other people. It's like, no, that's fine. This is Exiles. I'm down for it.
That's what I was just like. Are these people you lost, or are these people who are all retired? Because I can see you're a lot older now. Because
These are people that can't commit to their voice work.
I'm saying, like, even if we're gonna go Marvel Zombies off that episode, what are y'all doing with one-legged Chadwick over there?
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's called an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Jesus.
According to Vision, it was just
according to Ant-Man. That's exactly what that was.
That's exactly what it was.
But who else had some cameo? Yeah, finding out Strange was still alive, and they just dropped that so casually, and I'm like, all right, but like,
I mean,
a universe has more power than the people who can watch it. Like this again, one philosophical episode about the Watchers and the rules, and what say you
It's
when
essentially Strange was eternity.
Yeah,
Strange was eternity. The thing that got me is that we didn't have any Tom Hiddleston, and they actually go to Loki because he's the one basically making up holding all these realities together, and just looking at Loki's like, what do we do?
Right.
Or can you change this because now you're Loki, god of the eternal story?
Pretty much. Hey, all in game. Y'all heard about the MCU wanting to recast T'Challa as Black Panther? Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna see a variant. I think. Well, we will definitely see a variant. Like I said, Fantastic Four, world goes boom. Some people get put through a portal. Replacements and variants recast.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see at this point a recasted T'Challa just because he's gonna be a variant. So
I really just want to see M'Baku as Black Panther for a little bit though.
That would have been nice. A good one too. Bucky and Red Guardian was a dope episode.
It was a fantastic episode.
Knowing that Red Guardian actually knew about Hydra was actually pretty interesting, and the fact that he actually does have super soldier feats with. Also, are we confirming Obadiah got the Starks killed?
In the what if episode, yes.
Mm-hmm. That episode literally was in the same vein as Black Widow, and it just took a slight turn when he stops Bucky from doing the deed. That's where it changes.
Bucky had a basically. It was said many times on Blurred's Eye View. It was said as 48 Hours. It was said as Lethal Weapon. It was said as we had like 5 different.
It's
names.
the buddy cop show we've been waiting for since the teaser.
Yeah.
It was young. Damn, what is the name I'm trying to think of? Ant-Man 2, Doctor. He Pops from Blackish. God.
Yeah. Oh, Bill Foster.
Yeah, young Bill Foster.
Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, that was fun too. But Chris, Joe, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was going to say, what was up with Goofy Nick? Fury out? What was that about?
I think it's just
that was Sam Jackson having some fun. That's what that was. That's what that was.
They took all the unused and blooper clips from the Marvels and just put them in here as voice clips.
I feel like what I'm like, this is already a goofy episode, so it works. But I'm like, why is that like his calls?
Pretty much.
Like, the man
he got his boy back, so he cool.
But Joe, Chris, anything else y'all want to add to What If's final season?
The Mech Avengers episode was amazing. The 1872 episode was amazing.
That was my favorite episode out of all of it. I especially liked that I didn't realize the little kid was supposed to be Iron Swordmaster Iron Fist until they said his name. It's like, oh, that's cute. I like that. Also, my casting for Black Panther, they recast David Agila.
Okay.
Oh.
If you guys don't know who that is Booker Booker Washington from Star Trek Discovery. Got to meet him. Wonderful person.
Oh yeah, he would definitely make a great T'Challa too. Now I think about that, Book would make a great T'Challa. But yeah, no. As far as me, I'm just sad to see What If have a final season. I still think there was more they could have went with. The Watcher could have actually had a lot more stories to be told. As you can tell, we all had favorites in this series. Mine again, because I was a fan of the Red Guardian Bucky ever since I saw the teaser trailer for season 3 a year ago. Love the weird idea of Howard the Duck and what's her face?
Darcy
having a kid that basically was the savior of the universe at the time, which was really interesting. But no, not a bad episode. Not a bad episode of the whole bunch. Just sad to see it go. I was kind of hoping Disney/Marvel would really run with this. This is one of the very few times where they can do variant episodes and get away with it. But it is what it is.
I think part of the issue I would love for them to do, and I said it before when you and me talked about it, I would love to see them do Exiles. I would love to see them do an Exiles.
Yeah.
But once again, and I'm in agreement with Joe, and I've said it before, the voice casting. Yeah. Like you might be able to get a few of them, but not everyone. Like it's going to be like timing is going to be damn near, especially now that they're ramping up. Mm-hmm. It's definitely going to be something difficult. So yeah.
Pretty much so. But with Marvel, we are going to go over to DC because damn you, James Gunn. Not just the Superman trailer, Creature Commandos. Their season.
I still say the character assassinated Frankenstein, and I do not like them.
With that being said, I'm gonna start with Joe. Go for it, sir.
Oh no, the rest of the series is fantastic. I love everybody in it. I could do without Rick Flag Sr. by this point. I welcome Nosferatu and the Mummy. I just hate what they did. I don't hate the voice casting. I love that David Harbour is Eric Frankenstein. I hate what they did to him. Mm-hmm. Where they basically made him a
stalker.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the comic version of Frankenstein is basically he is DC's Hellboy.
Yeah.
But now they made him a hyper fixated. I don't know if I'm using this term or not. Incel. Work with me here. I'm
you know that.
Hyper fixated.
I was gonna say Joker from the Suicide Squad, the Hollywood edition, but that works too.
Yeah.
Where he thinks he's owed the bride.
Yeah.
And just because he's given life, he's owed a wife, and I hate what they did to him. Everybody else, fantastic. I have a problem with the Phosphorus episode because it shows us the DCU Batman, and that Batman is
thick,
way too big to be Robert Pattinson, and I wish they hadn't done that.
That boy,
you know what it is? The flashback or the Vision showed us the whole team.
That's a hefty boy. Now
the Vision also showed us a good look at the superheroes, and everybody was crucified. And I'm like, that could also be an accurate look at our lineup.
Also, Blue Beetle is in that crucifixion scene.
Yes,
he's in the background.
Yeah,
but and I applaud them because they have the blue and navy Batman. This is what hopefully they're moving forward because James Gunn was raised in the same or as we are, where we remember times before Frank Miller had the I'm the Goddamn Batman. I just wish he wasn't that big because, I mean, Pattinson being Batman makes sense in this universe now. And I just don't, I don't see him getting Hemsworth dick. I don't see that man becoming a living triangle.
Oh my god!
I mean, they could do kind of like what they did with Arkham Origins and the Cold Heart DLC, where they gave him kind of like a suit to battle Freeze.
Yeah.
He could just be wearing an anti-heat device, but also it would be overkill because we know that teeth can hurt phosphorus at this point.
Pretty much.
So
Weasel proved that.
the only other thing I dislike about that is that James Gunn gave himself his own title card. A bit of hubris. That's a bit of like hubris I don't think is needed. Like, yes, we understand you're not Zack Snyder. We look forward to your work. You have done well by us multiple times in the past. We understand this, but you're not appearing in this series. Why do you need your own title card?
I think it's more of a tongue-in-cheek thing. That's what I think. I think it's more of a tongue-in-cheek thing with him being on top.
He does that a lot anyway. So
I know, but
his Spotify Wrapped has got to be interesting to look at.
Also, Voltaire needs to start producing more records because at some point someone's going to stumble upon it because of this thing. It's not him singing because he was.
It's made me listen to a lot of Euro rock.
Like GI's entire fight sequence tied in with his backstory. That was beautiful, man. Up until
that was great.
Until Cersei showed up, and even then, I'm just like, yeah, I need y'all to put him back together at some point.
I had a gut feeling that was going to happen because I'm like, there's more than one iteration. There's more than one version.
Right.
They just can't call him.
They just can't call him the other. Yeah, they can't.
The other name that he goes by the book, they can't call him by.
Right. That name would take off a lot of people.
King Shark.
Say what?
I didn't catch who that was either.
Dietrich Bader.
Okay,
was King Shark.
The problem here is that we got two separate King Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
And Dietrich Bader is going to do a great job because I think he can definitely carry that Stallone. He can definitely do a Stalloneism because, I mean, it's Dietrich Bader. He was Batman for a good deal of times, but like my King Shark is Ron Funch's King Shark.
God.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Also, like,
hang on, Joe, before you finish. Peter Safran just gets completely forgotten about. Not really, just because he's actually directed a lot of episodes, including some of the Creature Commandos. It's just that he kind of stays in the background. But
yeah, he doesn't have the ego and the bravado.
Damn. I
mean that as a compliment.
I know you are, but just the way to the timing of it. But I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Also, the Clayface is still Alan Tudyk, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Clayface is still alive, right? Because we just
this Clayface, and this is the crazy part. This Clayface is dead. The Clayface that's going to get his own standalone movie. There's two of them.
So are they saying? Well, I mean, there's like 8 different Clayfaces. So are they saying this one's Matt?
I don't think they said a name. I don't think they gave a name.
Harley is Basil Karlo. They state that at least.
Yeah.
But they didn't say the name of this Clayface.
So does that mean they're playing Alan Tudyk twice? Because Alan Tudyk is.
Oh, Alan Tudyk had a couple jobs in this show. He's
also mentioned he will be voicing Clayface in the standalone movie. So yes.
Once again, proving James Gunn of what he said about if you hear them in the animation, they're more likely going to be in a live action.
Yeah, I didn't realize
that kind of voice. That's going to be hard to commit to.
I didn't know electricity was going to be a weak feat of his. It's always been like ice and cement.
No, electricity was actually used as old as the Batman the Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
Really? That's like the first time.
When he knocks him into the control panel in the TV room, and
Yeah, it was like a thing he discovers with like a small piece of him, and he runs electricity through it in the Batcave, and like it couldn't hold its structure.
Yeah.
And shifting, that's how he learned that electricity was Clayface's thing. That's an old. It's like they said, it's an older code, but it checks out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Tafari, Chris, what are y'all thoughts on Creature Commandos?
I'll let you go first, Tafari. Go ahead.
Man, that last episode is going right next to Peter Parker getting his chest caved in with I'm not watching it more than once. That and you know what it is? You want to be mad at Weasel, but you get why he did it. But then her face when she turns the knife on Nina, that kind of let me know, like, all right, something's definitely not right about this, especially when she got up and just walked off.
Right.
Like also, it makes sense you had supervillains in the mix because we've seen your army. They are too goofy to do world domination. So there was no way you were pulling this off alone.
Right.
I had to rewatch the explanation a couple times because it was kind of confusing when Bride broke it down. So I'm still trying to piece that together because she wanted the girl to, I guess she wanted them to make the failed attempt and then they were supposed to leave and start World War III.
Yeah.
I think
that was the whole idea that she was supposed to basically off the princess and that's what starts it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think the only thing that threw it off was the Bride actually killing her off. Also, poor Alexei didn't make it out. I actually liked him. Who else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where we are in the world of DC lore and what's known because did we just lock Nina up for existing when there's a whole Atlantean society down there?
Pretty much.
Well, she's not Atlantean.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, fish person, I'm like, in a world of Blue Beetles and Superman, the fish person is where y'all have a problem. And said, also, cops just have done more damage than actual villains in this show. Y'all just shoot anybody.
Well, as Hellspawn Cosplay pointed out, he says he was there saying Peter Gunn really does not. I mean, he sat there and said James Gunn does not like law enforcement. It's like, yeah, every episode with a cop never ended well. So it's like, yeah, I mean, he's got a point.
Yeah, Nina's mom sucks. Like, if they had went for the postpartum angle, I could understand, but she just up and left and just never came back. And I'm like, all right. And then her dad got shot for being a caring father. Like, what the fuck was that?
That was messed up. But but she never committed a crime. That was the crazy part. She never committed a crime and yet somehow ended up in Belle Reve.
I was just like, hey, look, Lazarus pits all around because just go ahead and toss my girl Nina and young Flag in there because he's definitely not fun.
He's whatever they're doing with it because he's in Superman.
Yeah. So somehow, unless they're going to sit there and say, you know,
I think Flag Senior is in Superman.
He's in Flag Senior's in
Oh
Superman.
yeah, so I need him to find out what happened to his kid, and I get it, somewhat mission accomplished, but Waller should be out of a job.
See, that's what makes me think in Peacemaker season 2 we're gonna see Rick Flag again.
So something's gonna happen to where because the scene that they show him in Superman, he's escorting Superman along with the Ultraman character and the engineer to I can't think of the people's name right now, but where Guy Gardner's working with the people. But they show him. Yeah, they show all of them, and he's escorting him in custody. So something happens.
Oh, it does.
I so want in that movie that Ultraman has the face mask, but he's still slightly smaller than Superman.
Yeah,
I so wanted to remove the mask and it be Henry Cavill.
Oh, you would have the Snyder cult looking for like, see what he's doing. He's taking upon the greatness of Mr. Zack. You would have the whole cult group going after.
But it would be wonderful to start having to announce that World 3, Earth 3. Has all the other actors, and it's Owlman and Superwoman and Ultraman, and it makes more sense that he's Johnny Quinn than he is the Flash.
I mean, it has been quite quiet outside of Jason Momoa. It has been quite quiet. So
I'm just saying, Jesus, if he did that, that would be something else. Let me get to
that.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
That show, Creature Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a post, and I said, a friend of mine did a post, and I said, James Gunn has proven once again that he can write obscure characters and make you give a damn about them.
Yep.
Every single time. Literally watching that last episode, and I see that because I kept trying to figure, all right, what's Nina's deal? Let's find.
My baby just wanted to play lacrosse.
Weasel, I don't know who had the sadder backstory, Weasel or Nina. I'm like, either one, they both tugged at you. It's like, God dang, you just keep going for the heart, sir. You just keep going.
Not a stab and twist, not a stab or what. You kept stabbing.
Yeah. Once she kept juking Nina, I was like, with a straight face, I'm like, all right, something's off about this chick.
But I will say this though, in Gunn's DC, he has proven nobody is safe. And you know what? That level of nobody's safe in his DC universe is refreshing.
It ups the ante.
Yeah,
it ups the ante.
I mean, let's be honest. We know some mainstays will be there, but yeah, I just like the fact that nobody is safe in his DC. But to me, Creature Commandos, loved it. Can't complain. It gave us exactly what we wanted. They kept it short. It wasn't very long as far as episodes go. Episodes listing goes. I'm not complaining. I don't think the princess's story is done, in my opinion. I think something in season 2.
Yeah, you just don't drop that. You don't peel the cap and then just walk away and there's no repercussion.
That part. So that's the reason why I'm thinking that the story is not over. But yeah, I definitely loved it. But I did want to catch this question before we go on to Invincible Fight Girl. Is the What If writing team taking over X-Men 97 writing duties?
The main writer is.
The main writer is. For What If taking over X-Men 97, guys, what do you think, real quick? Because I've got no issue with it.
I know they had a good chunk of season 2. They said done. I'm curious to how much is just getting strung together from there, or how much is being thrown out and redone just to keep a certain person's credits off. Because if that's the case, I feel like the writing will suffer.
All right.
Yeah, if you're doing it in spite of, that's a problem.
True, but I mean, it's the same team doing What If. I don't see a problem with it, but I can't see them having issues with it outside of Mr. Bo. But I think, like we talked about earlier in the show, man, just take your victory lap and then get Static Shock back on the air. How about that? Something along those lines. Do something worthy cause. But Joe, any thoughts on that? About What If writing team taking over X-Men 97?
They got some right, they got some wrong. That's just par for any show. So let's hope the hits are more than the misses.
Yeah, can't argue that. But Invincible Fight Girl, its first season wrapped up. Fellas, what do we think? Is it worth season 2, or is this a wonderful attempt and you never want to see it again?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I think the last 2 episodes could have been more of the whole season. Like, we finally have a credible villain. We have someone who's actually intimidating our leader character. I think was that Keith David playing the bad guy?
Yes.
So we have him playing that bad guy and the narrator. He's kind of giving, because I just watched the first season, Nana, Grandma, Mimi's friend from back in the day for Moon Girl, who ends up coming to the roller rink. He's kind of giving that vibe. And the fact that she's taking on her tutelage to kind of not deal with it.
Yeah.
Also, Tony Baker coming back and the backstory for the Perm Gang. And
man,
that was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough.
The bullies
were
bullied. Yeah.
Not to cut you off, Tafari. Tony Baker, if you ever hear this podcast, please do more voiceover roles. You had me dying with the Perm Gang. Oh, he had me in tears. Like I said, for anybody that's not watched Fistful Fight Girl, watch it for the Perm Gang at least, because Tony Baker voices one of the characters. It is worth the 4 episodes that he's in, because like I said, for me, I loved it. I like the fact that where they're going with it. It was a slow start at first, but at the end, it does set up for season 2. I hope they get a season 2, just because I think it was great. It's wrestling. The best example I can give to this, because yes, it is about a person encouraging their dreams of wrestling. It's not Perfect Muscle. So although Perfect Muscle on Netflix, Ultimate Muscle. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Ultimate Muscle on Netflix. She'll watch that anyway, because that's a great series right now. But Invincible Fight Girl, I would definitely watch it. It's worth it to me. Again, it was exactly packaged as it should have been for the first season. Really, the whole idea of of her learning a certain style really made for it. Characters were supporting, not really boring areas, but like I said, season 2 hopefully will be better, because like I said, it wasn't knocking off the wall, but at least it wasn't boring. It did make you want to watch each week, but that's just my opinion. But Joe, Chris, what do you guys have on it?
Chris, go before I bag on this a little bit.
I agree with you, Spartan. This was one of those fun ones, and once again, Black Girl Magic. But yeah, the voice work was right on par. When I heard Tony Baker and Keith David, I was just like, "Oh, we're in the end game now, huh? We're doing it. Okay, I see what you're doing." I was already sold, but you guys just pushed it over the top. So yeah, it is fun. It's definitely something fun to watch. When I see shows like this, or Craig of the Creek, or just fun, concentrated shows, like episodes like that, it just makes it just worth watching, and it's not too convoluted. It's it's your basic fighting type anime, wrestling world type thing, but very what's the word I'm looking for? Outside the box,
right?
Because when you call a match, you're like, I want a match, and all of a sudden a wrestling ring just shows up out of nowhere. Right. So it does those type of things, and it's fun, and it's just like, okay, there's obviously a world where wrestling is pushed into the upper echelon of not just entertainment, but the end all be all, because you end up with, I don't know where these crowds come from. Right, the crowds triple in size.
I guess it comes with the ring, personally, but you have a ring, instant crowd. But who am I to argue? That makes for good action. But Joe, what were you gonna say?
Okay, I had issues with this, especially the finale. The finale should have been 3 episodes. We did not need that foot fetish cowboy arc at all, outside of establishing Brawley.
I would say, yeah, I like that it
Take
ties
1 episode from that, give it to the finale.
I forgot about that one.
The foot fetish.
The foot or the fist?
No, that was somebody's fetish episode. Don't lie to me. Don't tell me I'm wrong.
No, you got no argument. You got no disagreement there.
Like, my biggest issue in the finale is we are still going with the I need to believe in myself, I need to do this my own way lesson, which has been something she's been doing the whole series.
Okay.
We established the credible threat in that little in the Chinese wrestle, which should have been the final fight. Perm Gang should have been the first 2 episodes, because we established in that thing she is so OP at that point. She is basically, for wrestling fans, she is Sting with a baseball bat and a ring full of NWO members.
I was so confused by that literally the other day.
Even at the 4-on-1, they were not a viable threat for a finale. Yes, it was sad what happened, and I love their backstory, but they were not a credible threat at all in ring for the finale. It should have been first episode, second episode, deal with them. She goes on to the finale. She goes on to the ring against a little Asian kid who just observation hockey the crap out of her opponent.
Yeah.
And then get the only hit she gets on them is the perfect strike. And then even then it only doesn't deal that much damage. That would have been great. Because that would have shown, hey, I can do it now, but the technique is raw with me. I don't know how to control it. I don't know how to aim it. But the other little girl is like, oh, something I need to look out for in the future. The Keith David stuff and everything else, that's fine. Like that's fine. It's just the repetitiveness of the same lesson being taught to her over and over and over again that bother me. It's the lack of credible lack of a credible fight in the finale because, like I said, she's so OP at that point. Just like
I can see your point on that.
It's like taking Boo era Goku and putting him against the Cyberman fight.
Damn. Okay, that's
it is
fair.
the only upped ante was them jumping her versus a 1-on-1, which added to it. I will say
when they all jumped in on her, after a while she just realized like, oh wait, everyone's slow and easily exploitable because I've already taken this beat down once. I've already learned everything.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
actually
minus the fetish, which I don't think we could have done one episode and then like the first 7 minutes to get what we got from the second part, because I kind of saw the backstory coming, because that was the first setup for season 2. When they didn't solve that and Homegirl just ends up getting ran off by her own parents, I felt bad for that, and I'm like, all right, you deserve better.
You're basically an analogy for Broly. I mean, that's all that girl is.
Bro, I mean, her not Avatar Kyoshi, who can read ki or whatever, and Keith David. Those are season 2 setups, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I said that they should have taken an episode away from that and given that to the finale and let it be. God, I can't even remember her name now. What is her main character's name?
Andy.
And it should have been Andy versus the Kyoshi girl, and the only blow she lands is the ultimate strike, which is poorly aimed and only nicks her.
That would have been good.
Yeah, it would have been. But to answer your question, at Midnight Club 3, was the show good? Yeah, it is. It's worth watching.
Despite all my misgivings about the finale and that the two-parter that didn't need to be a two-parter, it's an excellent series. It does a great job. Great side characters. I love the Ken and Ryu or Sean and
there's a lot of homages. Yeah, a lot of cameos and homages. It's just you will find yourself kind of like we are as a unit. You find yourself kind of towing the line between is this a reference or is it overdone? And that's very much a personal choice. Neither one is wrong, and it's perfectly fine which way you go each episode.
I mean, M. Brandon's buddy, who just like shows up at the finale, he's just Sean from Street Fighter.
Yeah,
I like that whole dynamic though. That was cool.
I did too. No, that was good. I like that. I like that he's got a friend outside of his super huge family, and that he even goes to Michael's like, nah, dude, like I knew you were gonna jump ship, but I was fine with it because you were never gonna grow in our house.
Fair enough. But we do gotta keep that going. But yeah, definitely check out Invincible Fight Girl, guys. It is definitely worth it. Joe, I'm gonna toss this one to you because I am still in the middle of watching season 2 of Lower Decks. Sir, I know you have watched the series with the series ending as of last year. Your thoughts, sir?
I'm so mad that they've already edited one of the best episodes so that we don't get to see the husband on husband kiss between Garrick and alternate dimension Garrick and holograph Bashir as they are husbands in that thing. That was like the best penultimate episode ever. But no, this was a fine season. They got some good stuff. More guest characters came in. We got an episode with Brent Spiner. We got a really star-studded cast, like a huge Trek-studded cast in the penultimate episode. Final episode was a little bit lackluster, but also still good. I'm gonna miss this series. This is like one of the most, according to some, I forget what it was, but this was like the highest watched sci-fi series of 2024 was Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well earned. March, they're going to have a Blu-ray of everything. I've already got seasons 1 through 4. I just need the season 5 Blu-ray. I'm already good.
Definitely physical media, guys. As we keep saying on here and on Blurred's Eye View, they don't care. Do not depend on streaming services to carry your favorite television series, because you guys haven't noticed, they are cutting them like tree branches. And if you also haven't noticed, trying to get steel books or trying to get collector's editions, Tafar will tell you it is not easy. And Best Buy has already sat there and turned around and said they're not carrying most of the stuff. So
neither is Target.
Oh,
Only place to get physical media now is Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart now has the monopoly. All of the excess stock has gone back from Best Buy to Walmart. I just finally got the because pre-orders open back up for Sonic 3. Transformers 1 actually came out yesterday, but at least for us here in Dallas, the damn trucks are delayed. So we'll see when those get in stores.
So yes, physical media, if you can pick it up, definitely take it. As far as Star Trek Lower Decks, I'm still in the middle of season 2. I will agree with Joe. It is definitely a show worth watching. Regardless of not if you're a Star Trek fan, if you just want to laugh at something funny and off the wall and doesn't take themselves too seriously, Lower Decks is definitely it. I'm like I said, kind of sad to say that, they at least got a good run. I also think they should have got another season, but that's just me.
To answer Mr. Rogan, yes, it did.
Yep. Has Strange New Worlds? Yes, it did.
For anyone else, season 3 and 4 are probably my favorite seasons because T'Lyn comes in. Mm-hmm. She is my favorite character. I love T'Lyn so much. I got her autograph where it says "Stay Vulcan as a motherfucker" to me.
Wow. Oh Lord. Outside that, guys, the Doctor Who Christmas episode.
Emotionally crippling.
I didn't catch this one.
I had not seen it. So
Chris is shaking his head. He knows.
Was it
I did not see it coming.
Oh my God! No. When they kept saying the rules, I'm thinking like some sort of space corporation rules, some sort of intergalactic empire rules. I was not thinking those rules. That was unfair and unkind.
I was gonna say, was it that heart wrenching? I still gotta watch it, but was it that heart wrenching?
Yes.
Want me to tell you or what? I mean, because we're well in spoiler territory.
No, go ahead. I'm still gonna watch. I'm still gonna watch regardless. Go for it.
So they keep saying the rules. They meant 2020 COVID rules, where this woman's mother dies in a hospital alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
They referenced the entire. You're just like, oh fuck.
No, like it didn't hit me what the rules were until they like showed the mom. It's like, oh, it's those rules.
Yeah.
Heart wrenching. Okay.
And then it takes it a step further when you near the end, and you're just like, well, damn.
Oh no, the most emotionally crippling thing for me is where he has to live like the full year.
Oh,
and then
when he tells him, he says, you have to take the long way around. He's like, what does that mean? Because he's talking to himself. He sees he sees a future version of himself, and he says, you have to take the long way around. What does that mean? He's like, you'll get it. And he had to live in that time hotel for an entire year.
Just being the maintenance man, building up a friendship and rapport with that sweet, wonderful woman who I think she was the companion for him in this special, not the other one.
Not Joy.
She was. Yeah. So now me and Chris have emotional damage every time we hear Old Lang Syne.
Well, I guess I got something to look forward to later on tonight.
It's very much by the end, you're very much like, oh, but damn.
That's gonna hurt. But no, I wanted to know. So basically, emotionally prepare myself. Cool, got it.
Emotional damage.
Haven't been this as far as Doctor Who is concerned. I haven't been that much emotionally invested since David Tennant's leaving.
Okay.
Yes, that's a good one.
Like that episode where he leaves.
Mhm.
That
Where I
is,
don't want to go episode.
I
Yeah.
don't want to go.
yeah. It's him going around seeing all the companions, and it's one of those moments. You're just like, you bitch.
He comes back and says, "I still don't want to go." Dang, that's still messed up. All right, so that's good to know. Well, outside of that, because Skeleton's Crew is still going on, but we will actually cover that next Friday, just for time's sake.
So, I'm hearing
go
now this is actually trending worse than Acolytes.
What?
Like people are just done with the series because they don't care.
Save that for next week because I know
I disagree. I'm very
having
much
fun with it. It's
I'm
fun.
enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too, but just promise me, I promise, guys, we will go over that next Friday just because.
Isn't the finale next Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes.
we got to be wrapping up story wise anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up story wise very soon. So trust me, we will definitely get to that next week. But we do need to go ahead and get to comics because again, this was the big catch up from December.
Oh no, we're missing one more.
Say what?
We're missing one.
What are we missing?
We're talking about Dragon Ball.
Shit. Yes, we did.
We had something monumentous happen in one of those episodes.
Was that through his own?
Oh right. Oh crap.
Was that through his own ability, or was that through the Namek basically tinkering with both of them?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Because remember, the Namek was like they both like to fight, so and then he kind
Oh
of
no, it was just him powering up the Tamagami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Vegeta's had this in his back pocket ever since he saw it.
Vegeta had a cell. For all those that did not see Daima episode,
there's no way he didn't get spoiled.
You can't get spoiled.
It was screenshots everywhere before the episode damn near dropped.
Yeah.
The screenshot for the episode officially in Crunchyroll and Hulu was him.
I just laughed because how are you gonna have the same shot of him doing from the Cell games to the Tamagotchi? You had the whole Ascended Saiyan with the arm out with the smirk. I'm like, you do realize how this ended in the Cell games, and it's like, had you not let him go Perfect Cell, we wouldn't have this problem. So how about we don't tease the robot? Just saying. But ultimately, if you watch Nick's last episode, he did win, and then the whole thing with the I forgot what his test was after he beat the robot.
It was a word problem.
Yeah, it was a word problem.
Johnny has 5 apples, and then one of those types.
Yeah.
I love that everyone's like, oh, even Bull's like, he's not good with these kind of math problems.
And he surprised everybody.
Yeah. But it's just the big Super Saiyan. It's just the fact that Vegeta officially goes Super Saiyan 3 and Goku's like, when was he able to do this?
Right. The
Bob
one
was
time,
like, no, he didn't stop.
The one time Goku was surprised by Vegeta kind of beating him in the demon world a little bit. I was like, as a Vegeta fan, I was like, finally, let this man have his time to shine. Not to say that Goku will always have his time to shine because he's got ultimate plot armor, but still.
So
Vegeta actually, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, and then I'll go after you because something just occurred to me.
I mean, I just want Vegeta to have his moment in the sun. I mean, he doesn't always get it, but in episode 11, he actually did get it. But that's all I was going to say.
So my thing is why I'm a Vegeta fan is that man truly is a genius. Goku took the majority of I don't know how long from Super Saiyan. He probably got Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 pretty close together and being in the afterlife.
Pretty much.
Vegeta got it within 4 months of seeing it.
That's a special kind of anger. But then again, he always looked at Kakarot and was like, he's always ahead of me. So, in his mind, that's just like, how dare you? He's like, yeah, we're friends, but at the same time, I still don't like you to the point to how you could exceed this far, and yet I'm still stuck here. So
this is at the point where Vegeta admits that Goku is number one, so he's over some of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's also Vegeta recognizing I just like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta because he's just like, he's quiet, he's not that boastful. He's like, all right, I got a job to do. This thing even tells Trunks, I think, in Super's like, Super Saiyan 3 form sucks. It just eats up your stamina. Even Goku tells like Cauliflower at one point, it's like, oh, there's a level 3. 3 really sucks. Look, 3 just sucks. Go stay at Super Saiyan 2. We'll get you to God form later, kiddo. Super Saiyan 3 sucks.
And yet,
but it was still cool. And it's also, they say that they were using the original production design that Toriyama envisioned 3 to be.
Yeah.
With Kid Vegeta. The new episode this week was a pretty classic old school Dragon Ball episode. We're landing on a planet where everybody's giants and we gotta just like try to get away from a child and his dog.
And Goku's surrounded by fleas. Goku's surrounded by fleas.
Yeah, Goku having to fight off ticks. Yep.
That was interesting. That was real interesting. I said that kind of reminded me of the Red Ribbon Army episode, like when he had to fight what was it? Was it a Loch Ness monster type or a dragon type? One of the two.
No, you're thinking about the jelly monster where freeze him solid.
Yeah.
So, and then when he tried to give him like the sensu beetle or whatever, and Vegeta still has
like, no, and I'm like, my dude, we open the first time we see you are munching on a bug.
Yeah.
He has a more refined palate now. Also, he hates insects, I think, now, or at least specifically worms. I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
Also, we now can confirm Vegeta Boob Man.
I mean,
no, it's literally confirmed in the episode.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to say.
Is that why he was so insulted and put all the fucking house defenses on Goku when he accidentally went into her house?
Yes. So, other things we can quickly talk about. New anime that's come out. Stuff I can recommend right off the bat. Headhunted by the Demon King because I'm a middle-aged salaryman. Actually good.
Wait. Time out. Repeat that title again?
It's an isekai, so you know it's about 15 sentences long.
Fair.
Headhunted by the Demon King because I'm a middle-aged salaryman.
Okay, I did hear it right. All right, go ahead.
This is over there trying not to laugh at these titles. It's actually pretty decent. What are some of the other ones? Got them on my Crunchyroll list. Stuff I am watching. Of course, Crunchyroll is going to take forever. The Red Ranger Isekai episode tomorrow. Sakamoto Days tomorrow.
Yeah, that looking forward. I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow, just because of how the premise of that anime is.
For Magia, that is the new anime, which is already a video game. This is made by the Fairy Tail dude. This is Magical World, but this time it's farming simulator turned into RPG. We also have Amiku MD, Dr. Detective. I think Doogie Howser meets House, but also she's a 20-year-old who looks like a 12-year-old. Not bad. It actually is a decent medical detective series. I will be continuing it for a little bit. We'll see where I tap out. Zenshu is the other one that I got on my list, where it is an animator. It's an animator who works it's about the animation industry.
Okay.
What are you laughing at, Chris? Have you watched this anime?
Over there.
Chris is kind of dying. That's why I was like, has he heard these titles?
No. No, it's something else.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't contain myself. That's all. It's fine.
I was like, has Chris heard these titles?
I can read some of these other 12-paragraph isekai entries. They got those titles. No. Zenshu is where it's not quite an isekai. She is. It's like Shirobako, where it's the anime about the anime industry, and she's a director animator. Okay. And she is so overloaded with crunch that her mind is kind of like shuts down and she's trying to figure out how to mentally fix an animated. Are you gonna die from laughing?
I'm gonna die.
He's gonna die from laughing. You might as well go through your list, Joe.
No, go.
Go on, go through your list, Joe.
Where she's trying to fix movies that didn't do well in her own mind. So good one on that. Like I said, Red Ranger Isekai that comes out tomorrow. We'll see that. That one's one of the most anticipated ones outside of Sakamoto Days.
Okay.
Moving over into Kermix.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Before you do that,
Smaller
while you're setting
list.
that, huh? Oh yeah. Well, while you're setting that up, while you're getting that,
smaller list this.
Yeah, he's hit that level. Well, Joe, while you're actually pulling that up, really quickly, we do always want to show love to Rick's Comic City. Because why? They support us here at Get Bit. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out. They're Nashville's #1 go-to place for comic books, for collector's items, things of that nature. They also have a website, rickscomiccity.com. You can definitely check them out there for your weekly pull list, things of that nature. Let them know the guys at Get Bit sent you. It doesn't get you any discounts, but again, you see our faces on their televisions. We show them love, so they show us love. So definitely check out Rick's Comic City if you are in the Middle Tennessee area. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, please support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. Why? They need your patronage. I am not, yes, Starbucks is fun, Barnes and Noble is fun, Media Play, if it's somewhere in your area, I get it. But guys, in this time of day, guys, as you see with stores and brick and mortar stores closing, it is more important than ever to support your local comic book stores, support your libraries. Libraries carry the most up-to-date comic books, mangas, and video games. A lot of people don't know that. Video games also are carried in libraries. At the same time, guys, these bookstores, these places that we love to go to need your support as well. Definitely spend your time and also importantly, your money there because you're going to miss them when they are definitely gone. And also, kids, I know you guys are back in school. Read the banned books. There's a list. You'll thank us later. But, Joe, I do see that you're up and ready, sir. So whenever you're ready.
Last week we had Miles #28 come out. Black Panther takes him to Wakanda so that they can commune with Bast to remove his vampirism as he did that. She did that for T'Challa. However, things are not great because Bast does not like Miles because Miles is spoken for by Anansi.
Yep.
And Anansi's got his own trials for Miles to get this thing done. There was a lot of point of contention on the internet over this about why is Miles continually getting the power-ups and all the special treatment, and Anansi even says all spider totems are mine. But people are still mad about Miles continuously getting power-up after power-up. It's I had to explain this to somebody. It's this is how you sell spider books that are not Peter based. You have to do the opposite of Peter. In 2099, during the 2099 day, Miguel's the exact opposite of Peter. Peter only has no parent. Miguel's got his mom. Peter's the only child. He's got a brother. Peter was not married or seen anybody at that time. At that point, Miguel was engaged. We find out he has a long lost brother. He doesn't. Spider-Man swings on webs. It's cyberpunk. He just has to leap real far and grab onto buildings and sky scooters. Miguel doesn't web swing for a while.
Yeah.
Peter doesn't kill. Miguel has no problem offing people.
Right.
That part.
So, in order to continuously sell a spider book, Miles is the same way. Peter's barely ever part of the team. Miles has been part of multiple teams. Even his own team in the earlier books where he's teamed up with Gold Balls and 2 other mutants, I think.
Yeah.
And Ned and Keenan and whatnot. And then he was a champion. He was an Avenger. So Miles is always a part of the team. Miles has his family. Peter still doesn't have his family.
Right.
Peter got powers by the other. Miles had extra powers from Jump Street. You always have to expand and make people different from Peter to continuously sell the book.
Yep.
That is the thing here. Now, him making a hard-like construct out of Venom power, now we're getting into a bit of goofy territory, because if we're going to make fun of the Flash for doing that in the final season of the Flash, I'm going to make fun of Miles doing it now. Like, I'm at least equal opportunity on that. Like, I think the Venom sword is a little much, because I don't think you should be making hard-like constructs out of Venom shock power. Ben making weapons out of his thing is at least somewhat coherent, because he says it's psychoreactive slime. It's psychoreactive and can make shapes.
Kind of apples to oranges, but okay.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm not going to argue that, but still. And then people are just like, well, he keeps getting new suits. Like, it's Miles. He can change his suit as much as he changes everything else.
True.
That's fine. Like, the vibranium suit keeps his vampires in bay and lets him use his venom powers more efficiently.
Yep.
Big deal. You guys complained when he had the hoodie suit for a little bit, and that went away.
Or the Thor variant.
Yeah. Oh boy. Let's not
forget the Thor variant and its hammers on.
No, please. Let's
we
forget
don't
the
talk
Thor
about
variant.
the what if.
Please, let's forget that one.
That was not a what if. That was a WTF.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like, no, the book is pretty much summed up as like he's going to go through the trials of Anansi to cure his vampirism. Meanwhile, and his first trials to fight the Avatar of Bass, so he's got to fight T'Challa.
Right. I mean, damn. Of
Now,
all
for
things.
who it is written by, Cody Ziegler.
No, go ahead.
Art by Danielle Del Nicolo, with colors by Brian Valencia and letters by VC's Corey P. Did anybody else get a chance to read this?
Yes, I did. I liked it. I liked it for the simple fact of the matter is that Bass was already pissed. she was already pissed with T'Challa, and T'Challa is trying to ask for forgiveness. Miles is confused. Anansi just shows up out of nowhere.
T'Challa's on a redemption tour right now.
Yeah, Bass is more pissed because Anansi's there. Anansi's like, we are brethren. We are brethren deities, and you're not going to be, we can't help him, but I'm going to help him because he's one of my scions. And it's a good story. I did like the fact of how that was going to go. And Shuri kind of was a little bit more M'Baku than the Shuri that we're used to in the MCU, where it's like you're mocking tradition, and Miles is like, what I thought it was a key. I know you were handing me the heart-shaped herb that, T'Challa has. So overall, it is setting up for a very nice story. So far with Spider-Man, with Miles Morales Spider-Man. At the same time, the fact that every time I read Anansi, I hear Orlando Jones' voice now. In anything.
I will take nothing else. Or less.
Really?
I will take nothing less.
When I hear it, it always makes me think of the time Anansi appeared in Static Shock.
Same thing. I can see. I mean, that would work too. It's just that ever since American Gods, anytime it comes to Anansi, I'm like, dang it, I cannot get Orlando Jones' voice out of my head reading this.
I mean, that's fair. Moving on over, we get all new Venom. This is written by Al Ewing, art by Carlos Gomez, and colors by Frank D'Amato. So there's a new thing about this thing, which I love about this book. It is, who is the new Venom? And my God, does Paul suck? For those of you unaware, Dylan Brock is now currently the permanent resident of Mary Jane Watson and her boyfriend Paul, who no one likes Paul. Al Ewing, bless this man.
They keep trying to push Paul on us.
They really do.
Oh God, Dylan is ruthless to Paul in this one. It's like, how dumb are you? The two children disappear. Two imaginary children disappear on you.
That burn. Oof. That was a burn.
Also, we still don't know who the Venom is. We just know that Dylan wants the symbiote back, but we don't know who it is. We know it's not Luke Cage now.
See, that's the thing. They say it's not Luke Cage, but it's not Robbie, and I forgot the third person's name already. Rick
Jones or Madam Mask.
Thank you, Rick Jones, because Madam Mask is definitely not Venom. I'm certain at this point Madam Mask is not the all new Venom, but I can't help but wonder just because of how Venom. It's like, could Robbie or could it be Cage? And I'm still saying it could be Luke Cage.
Here's why it can't be Luke Cage, because Luke Cage is impervious to bullets and Venom had to dodge the bullet to the face. And remember, Venom, the symbiote's whole thing is that it enhances the powers of the user. So if Luke is bulletproof to begin with, Venom wouldn't need to dodge.
True. But still, I mean, and then okay. Well, if we go by that logic, then it's either Robbie or Rick.
Yeah.
If you're going by that logic, but damn it, Luke has
still Al Ewing has made this like, who is the Venom symbiote, and let's just be mean to Paul.
Pretty much,
and I'm okay with that.
Although Dylan roasting Paul over his vegan diet, that's still damn.
This is such a fun book.
That still hits.
I'm only reading it just so see how much more roasting we can get Paul till they get rid of him.
Or turn to an ant, or they turn to a villain.
Yep. Uncanny X-Men number 8. This is the finale of the first X event, Raid on Grey Malkin, which pretty much no one knows what's going on. Because this is like really, really small thing. This is written by Gail Simone, art by Javier Goran, and colors by Matt Wilson. Both the the Louisiana X-Men and the Alaskan X-Men all meet up at the X-Mansion to try to free or make sure Charles does not escape. Rogue's team wants Charles to help out. Cyclops is like, God, no.
Right.
No, we're keeping him there. But we are there to free the mutant center because they have Blob, Banshee, Wild Child, and Toad, I think.
Toad, yeah. Toad's the captive.
Okay. From the people running the Grey Malkin Institute, the Xavier Mansion now, which is an anti-mutant faction using mutants against other mutants. It's just one big X-Men fight. It's fine. We learned new bad guys are called avians, which I don't know if that's going to amount to anything or not. Because I'm only reading this for the Juggernaut, for the single brain cell team of Juggernaut and Magic. Not to like you know me. I'm calling a spade a spade. Those two I'm right off single brain cell.
But I do like the fact that the division between Rogue and Cyclops, because Rogue kind of. Rogue's rated at 86 everybody, but Cyclops is like, no, Charles needs to stay here. Rogue is like, no, he needs to go. And it's interesting that Rogue reminds me of somebody's ideology, because it's like Cyclops is done with. So it's funny part. Cyclops is done with Charles. He's like, above all else, he's done with it. While Rogue is like, no, he needs to be saved. And then you got the inmate X that is sitting behind this big ass red door that used to be Cerebro. It's like, who is this guy that they're just holding on to that, if all else fails, we just let him out? That's the question. I was like, who is behind the red door? But
probably Legion.
Probably is Legion. But the fact that Charles and Scurvy were just having a one-on-one mental fight that looked like Street Fighter 2 was still funny to me. But no, it was a good issue, though.
It was fun. I like it. The artwork was probably the best part of it. The artwork was great. Moving on over, we get Magic number 1. We already know this is my book of the week. No one acts too surprised. Written by Ashley Allen, art by Jermaine Peralta, Cars by Arthur Ursley. It's Ileana's birthday. Ileana does not do birthdays. As a result, she turns on TV, which conveniently shows a woman who is possibly a mutant has been murdered in a small town. And Ileana's like, deuces. No birthday for me. No birthday party for me. Magic ensues. What the Dark Child types take over. Magical gunman, which can manipulate bullets through thing and other stuff that deals with magic. This was a great read. Good first intro. Her having a solo series. This is her. Well, this is not her first one. She's had a mini series, but her having her first ongoing series.
Yeah,
this is a good start. Long overdue, in my opinion. I just had a lot of fun with it. The art was great. Everybody is who they should be. I think. I think Ashley Allen has a good voice for everybody, and I hope to see her in more X books in the future. But this was a strong read.
I agree. It was for me to actually, because I don't know a lot about magic, so this issue was definitely worth reading about. And my limited knowledge on the Dark Child and the fact that she kind of embraced a little bit kind of tells me there's a dark side, unresolved situation there. So, yeah, it'll keep me reading. I'm down with it.
And then final book of the night, Transformers number 16, written by Danny Warren Johnson, art by George Corona, and colors by Sarah Stern. Okay, so Decepticons versus the Renegades, which is what I'm calling Starscream's team. If you're a GoBots fan and get that reference, I'm proud of you. We get to see Bruticus fight Devastator. Meanwhile, Optimus Prime is slowly being corrupted by Megatron's arm, which is great because that shows the corrupting influence. Just like a single piece of Megatron can corrupt anybody, because I'm just starting to see some really dark stuff.
Right.
I've not seen some of the messed up stuff like that since the early IDW days, where the Autobots still had human sidekicks for about 10 issues before they ditched them. Bad things happen to those poor children. Megatron comes back into the field. So does Trailbreaker. Good for Trailbreaker. I like that we bring back Trailbreaker. But the big highlight is Bruticus versus Devastator fighting in front of a dam, and Optimus standing there with Megatron's arm as a corrupting influence, like, I've got to stop this. They'll destroy everything. Just blows up the dam. And Jazz is like, boss.
No explanation outside of run.
Meanwhile, on Cybertron, Cliff Jumper is carrying around the sparks of his friend. I think they find Warpath.
Yeah, they did find Warpath.
I didn't remember if it was Warpath or Power Glide.
Yep, Warpath.
With Alita 1 as they try to scour Cybertron, the piece of Cybertron that's still there. And they find something that Cliff Jumper's going to upload the sparks into. God only knows what. I fear that we may be getting Frankentron, which is a real thing. But no, the way they defeated Starscream was great. They just took the little remote control and just pushed him to go the opposite direction.
They rolled him off a cliff with a remote control,
which was great.
Because it was attached to a tank. Well, tank track.
I want to know what kind of relationship Thundercracker now has with Skywarp. I want to know if this is a brotherly thing, a romantic thing. We've been in a war for 1,000,000 years kind of thing. I just want clarification. I don't care. I love it to death either way. The book's fantastic. The artwork's great. It gives me Bruticus versus Devastator because Bruticus is the strongest, one of the second strongest combiner after Predaking, but the least articulate.
Jesus.
Which makes me love him so much.
It was a good issue though, but yeah, they give me idle hands with
Megatron.
Thank you, Megatron giving me idle hands to Optimus Prime. That was just weird, but
I feel bad for Laserbeak though.
Oh well, Laserbeak, you know, at least they see eye to eye now.
That's so mean. And it's because of the cartoon where like Laserbeak is like almost Megatron's personal pet as much as he is Soundwave's. It's like, buddy, you didn't need to do that. He probably would have just let you around normally. You didn't have to do that to him.
Still was funny though.
Yeah, I guess. Mm-hmm. Oh no, those are the comics this week. We were very short on comics because a lot of week 5 stuff. It happens. We had no DC. Like there was nothing I could find in DC that was worth it.
Oh well, they keep on telling me to go back to
Batman.
They keep on telling me to go back to Absolute Batman, so I may venture back in there because that first issue did not inspire.
I will say this: Ultimate Superman got better on issue 3, and Ultimate Wonder Woman is like Absolute Superman got a lot better in issue 3, and Absolute Wonder Woman is just killing it no matter what.
Cool. Well, thank you, Joe, for the comic book pulls. And as we kind of call it a close on this one, for the catch up from 2004 to 2020, for 2025, I do want to start what everybody's doing. So I will start with, I call him the man, the myth, the legend. I'm going to start calling him Mr. Cardio. But Tafari, sir, you want people to know what you're doing outside of really getting in shape and inspiring me to go back to the gym 3 times a day?
My legs are suffering for what I did today. Yeah, you can find me on all platforms underneath this name. I'm still posting on the regular. I'm also still testing this trial reels feature that Instagram is doing. So come back next month for a report on that. But I am doing a walkathon. I am streaming games and walking on a walking pad / treadmill for at least an hour a day. And then if the stream will allow it or my life does, we will continue to play something new. We're playing different games every day. Some stuff I'm doing for the first time. Yesterday, I got stuck in the damn tutorial for Transformers for an hour and a half, so that was fun. Today, since we're 10 days in, I tried something different and found this old dance pad. So managed to do 2 DDR games and not get completely blocked off the face of the earth. So that was fun. Gearing up for next month, I'm trying to do 28 days of Black unboxings. I just got another piece in the mail from a friend of mine. So if you know anybody who would like to participate or has cool things to show off and they want somebody to talk about it in a hip fashion, holla at me. But other than that, that is it for January.
All right. Yeah, the whole thing about you doing cardio made my legs cramp up and I didn't run.
Yeah, but stretching is important, people. Stretching and drinking water. Just putting that out there.
Very much. Captain, you're up, sir.
The crew's on a break. But we're still busy. You can still catch us on right here at this little thing right there at Blurred's Eye View. You go right there. You can check us out there. You can go to the YouTube page and still see some of the videos that we post up. You will see us coming back at the beginning of February, but you will still see us. So remember to still sign up at Blurred Station. Still sign up and join us over at Blurred's Eye View. Have some fun. We just posted up our reviews for What If, the final watch. And you can also listen to us wherever you listen to the podcast, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and so many other places. Outside of that, I am taking a much-needed reprieve while I'm creating bumpers and writing scripts for new commercials and voice work. So that's all I'm up to.
Nice. All of the voice work, sir. Whether it be Batman or whether it be a villain, it hits. Joe, it does hit, sir. Joe, let people know what you're doing.
I'm doing Ultraman things with Tafari. The end game is upon us for Ultraman Arc. I've got to talk to Tafari about this coming week. I got something we may do so we can just do another 2-parter and end out the series. Other than that, I am streaming Big Stompy Robot content over on Total Justice Gaming. Right now, we're doing Grendizer, Feast of Wolves. Good old. I beat MechWarrior 5 Mercs, and now we're doing 1970s Super Robo stuff. I have to put a disclaimer every time because names of characters are moderately offensive because it's the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's a good idea to call one of the alien characters General Blackie. It's not my fault. As we snicker in the background.
We understand.
It's the 70s. I can't help these things. Other than that, I'm just waiting for new games to drop. Sin Duality, I think, is a new one coming out. It already had an anime, but looks to be Mech Warrior-ish, but with anime waifus attached to the mechs. We'll see what that's like. I may dive back into Mech Warrior Clans on hard mode and see what that does to my patience. Also, gearing up to move. So that will take some time and effort and coordination, which luckily I hope to have. But we'll see how that goes and if I get any more great from that. But yes, moving into my own place. It will be an experience.
Moving's always fun.
Oh yeah. I'm slowly, thankfully, because of my job, there's always a lot of boxes around I can take. So I'm slowly gathering boxes. I've already taken inventory of what's going to be in the apartment and what's going to be staying in the closet of the apartment.
Nice.
Other than that, not too much. One of my friends pointed out they actually opened a TCG shop in Bellevue. It's a little bit too late for me. I don't want to play card games anymore. It's not healthy for me. Other than that, it is since New Year, Chinese New Year is coming up, and API Middle Tennessee is doing a bunch of stuff. The 16th, we will be over at the zoo for Zillumination. We will be doing other things. I think there's a symphony at the end of the month.
Nice.
Pardon. Yeah, like I said, pretty even flow for me as we go. So that's pretty much it right now. I'm not streaming Street Fighter, just like Big Stompy Robots are my thing at the moment. Waiting for Monster Hunter in February.
Aren't we all? But cool. Well, I guess I'm up. But before I get to myself, I do always want to do shameless plugging as usual, starting with Blur Station. I know Chris mentioned that earlier, but we always got to mention it is the table, the vehicle that we've always wanted, where our content, our viewership, most importantly, our dollars should be going to. Tubi is great, but Tubi is well worth over $100 million at this point. The problem is Tubi is owned by the same guy that owns Fox. Yes.
Stop giving them your money.
Pretty much. Stop giving the old white man your money. I never thought I'd say that out loud in 2025. I'm going to be saying that a lot. The thing about Blur Station is, guys, it is for us, by us, for us to enjoy. They have movies. They have television. They have anime. They have different shows out there, all for your viewing pleasure. If you definitely want to check it out, go to blurstation.com, hit the Join Now button, select the Blur's Eye View Affinity membership. Anybody there. We do not care who you pick. Whether it's Chris at Chris Fury, Roomful of Blurs, we'll be watching myself, Black Spartan, Tafara TV, Navy, or Game Montel, or Geek by Heart. We would all appreciate it. At the same time, guys, as you can see, it's $10.99 a month. $10.99 a month to stream Blur Station. After 36 months, you do have the ability to own a piece of Blur Station, and there's never been an easier way to own a piece of a media network than trying to do the stock exchange, because right now, nobody's your friend on the stock exchange. But definitely check out Blur's Eye View always, but also check out blurstation.com because, again, it is the vehicle that we've always asked for and it needs our support. Also, check out alwayspressrecord.com or APR TV on the Roku apps. Why? Because shows like Blur's Eye View, shows like How the Frack Got Here, shows like Get Bit Podcast are all available on the APR TV app. Again, another vehicle to where our content, our viewership, most importantly, our dollars should be going to. So definitely check out alwayspressrecord.com on the interwebs or APR TV on your smart TV app. Outside of me, guys, I am trying to just hold on as a dad with 3 kids. 2 of them are under 2. Pray for me. That being said, Black_Spartan 615, as you can find me on the interwebs. Still doing helping out. Well, not helping out. That's a sad word. Doing my little part with the other Titans on Blurred's Eye View, where we'll be returning Chris back in February, if I got that right. Definitely also check out, guys, also in the comments too as well, check out Lady Mandalore at Room Full of Blurs, as she has her show along with the Reverend Navy Montel every Sunday. I almost said Saturday, my bad. Also, Geek by Heart, who's also in the comments. Check out Geek by Heart also on YouTube as well, as she will be streaming. I think she's still doing Echoes of Wisdom. I don't know if she's beat that or not. But also the reviews that her and her husband Jay do are always fun to watch, as she is the creator of horror. Pretty much, guys, if you actually go to the Blurred's Eye View website, all of our shows are there. Thankfully, Mr. Tafara TV for setting that up for us, to where you'll be able to link in, watch everything, like, share, and subscribe. And again, as you can see, we talk to everybody that comes into the comment section. So again, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and we pretty much go from there. But at the same time, guys, as we wrap this up, it is cold and flu season. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, some of us may be in snow, some of us may be in fire. It is literally, the U.S. is basically Mordor right now. So wherever you are, please be safe. Please be comfortable. Check on people, especially children and elderly, because right now, depending on where they are in the world, a little call or a little text can go a long ass way.
Wait, there's 9 of us in the crew, right?
Yeah.
Wait, we need to be going on an adventure then.
We really do. There's 9. I mean, all we need is
if this world is Mordor, we are missing out. Oh God.
We are missing out, and I'm looking for the Hawks right now, because you think we're taking the long ass way to Mordor. That hawk is going to be putting in some mileage. That's all I'm saying. But as we wrap,
I'm telling you now, my D&D alignment is monk, not dwarf, not barbarian, monk.
Fair enough. Even though cons are not happening, guys, because again, the con season has kind of wound down, but we'll probably kick back up in the new year very soon. The rules still apply, and check out Tafara TV for those videos. But my rules are still the same thing: respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplay is not consent. Please treat people like human beings. It's not that freaking hard. Rule number 2: hygiene. Very freaking important. I cannot stress this enough. I hate going to cons to where folks have to put out deodorant, bath soaps, and everything else. As nice as a joke as it is, guys, I would like to be able to take my 3 children to these cons and enjoy them and not have to worry about somebody not washing their ass that morning. Please wash your ass, clean clothing, brush your teeth, mouthwash, the whole bit. Come clean so we ain't got to worry about spreading diseases, because if you haven't noticed, cold and flus pass very easy and COVID ain't gone. So again, wash your ass. And again, the number 3 rules I have for myself, as I have for everybody else, guys: be nice, be kind, share and talk about your fandoms, encourage other people, don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But as we wrap this up, guys, we do thank you all for watching. We will be back here next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, to see about the news of the week. And fellas, anything we got to say before we call it a night?
I'd like to once again reiterate for all the firefighters who are coming from prison, they didn't do it. Whatever y'all claim they did, they was with me the whole time playing PlayStation, put some money in their books. I've known them my whole life. They wouldn't do anything y'all claim they did. Let them people go home.
Fair enough. Definitely shout out to the firefighters right now on the West Coast that are, y'all putting in work. But Chris, Joe, any last words?
Also, bless Steve Gutenberg.
Yes.
Oh, that man.
Yes.
Mahoney is doing what he's always done in Police Academy.
You could tell the dude doing the news reporting his birthday was started with the number 2, because he didn't know who Steve Gutenberg.
He had no clue who Steve Gutenberg is. I'm like, he's interviewing Steve Gutenberg right now. That's Mahoney.
I've been saying Mahoney the entire time. That's like Officer Mahoney. I would have sat there and just said, I just gotta say it one time. One time. Now, I promise I'll be professional, but for 30 seconds.
Mahoney, though. I think Short Circuit every time I think of Steve Gutenberg.
Also another one, but I always like, you know what? That's going to be a whole nother discussion. Police Academy or Short Circuit. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and call it, guys. Thank you all for watching. This will be live very soon on YouTube. We thank you all. Again, like we said, please stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, check on people, and I know 2025 is going to be a rough year, but that's why you got us to get you through it. Take care, guys. We are out. Peace.
Kira, get with me about the comic book.